Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the show. I'm David Sponheim of AmericasThirdParty.com. Hello. We are celebrating the opportunity of all of you getting $400 per month per U.S. adult. One of the things that I ran with in the previous campaign, and we kind of honed in on, was a way we could cover the baseline for everybody in America so that everybody, including homeless people, can at least have some food and possibilities of a roof over their head. Now, one of the only reasons why I'm offering $400 per month is because we have a very complicated and failing social welfare system that was originally developed by FDR, the New Deal, which was never designed to get rid of government and just simply let itself get bigger and bigger and bigger. And my biggest concern is that the government's gotten bigger and bigger and their paychecks have gotten bigger and bigger, but you haven't gotten anything. The average person in America is still kind of like barely getting by. I mean, the food stamp program is being leached by the illegal aliens and non-U.S. citizens who come to our country and act like that's their gift for arriving, is free food at Costco. You know, at the beginning of the week, or beginning of the month, I go to Costco and I look around and I see the place is packed with non-U.S. citizens with green cards. It's amazing how many people are buying in bulk at Costco with their food stamps. I actually called the director of the SNAP program, Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program here in Washington. And she said, "Oh, we're happy to serve our clients." I said, "Your clients? We're the taxpayers. We're paying your we're paying your bills. We're your clients." "Oh, no, sir. The people that are recipients, they get the money." So our country is leaching out like 40, maybe $50 billion a year on non-U.S. citizens. So we should focus specifically on U.S. citizens. And this is a way to also get rid of welfare, this whole plan. And I think it's out of the box. I think it's way better than anything anybody's come up with. Everybody gets a little something. Even if you're an American stockbroker and you make lots of money, you can still get the money. Everybody qualifies, and that means that we don't have an infrastructure of women sitting there going, "Now, I want you to fill out the 6-month form, and if you don't, and you don't come back here, we're not going to give you your check, Miss Smith." I mean, these people are making $85,000 a year sitting there bothering people, and every person collecting welfare, I don't care who you are. You go through this every 6 months, this BS, where you got to sign an affidavit and you got to make sure nobody's living in your house. It's all bureaucratic nonsense. We're wasting tons of money. It should be going to the people. That's why 4 million people in the streets in America, to me, is unacceptable. I can't imagine a country that's so far off the track that we should have been on a long, long time ago. I can't imagine it. It's not the country I grew up in. And every single president and candidate doesn't mention the homeless. It's unbelievable. Donald Trump never mentioned the homeless people at all. So I am concerned, and this is why we want you to start telling people about the $400 per month per U.S. adult program. We also want to stop brutality in our current police state that we're living in. I think brutality is really messed up. Our country is way more brutal than other countries. And people around the world are looking at us going, "Why are you so brutal to your," it's just crazy how many people have died. So stopping brutality is another thing I'd like to look at. And of course, pro-legalization, getting a sense of growth in our private sector, like in the states that are allowing legalization. That's a big part of our plan. And the biggest part that I think you can mention is bringing our troops home and stopping the wars overseas and ending the Federal Reserve. I mean, these are reasons to become a third party. Donald Trump won't even go there. There's talk that he might look into getting some guy named John Allison as a Secretary of the Treasury. And there's talk that John Allison wants to look at ending the Fed. That's the only thing I've heard from Trump in the entire campaign. So I think all of these things are really important for the future of our country, period. All right, so we've got a lot of people chatting. Thank you for coming in. The sunglasses are part of a new look I'm fostering. The pre-show is like hell. You know, I try to come in here and have a good relationship with people, and you wouldn't believe all the guests that come in and attack me personally for the most insignificant things. They say, "Oh, your hair, there's something wrong with your hair. Oh, there's something wrong with," so just basically gives me the creeps to think that that's all people are thinking about. Really. Well, I'm thinking about things that are serious, things that I think need to be addressed. I'm thinking about this terrible situation with Pizzagate. That's my concern. And how nobody's mentioning it. It's bizarre how we have got a country now with a president-elect who likes to tweet, but he won't even mention this. And I uncovered something very disturbing recently. And that is that Breitbart, Breitbart.com is pushing a story that is designed to keep us from talking about it. And I don't have it right here. Okay. Let me pull it up off history. I had it earlier. Here it is. Okay. I'll take you to that story. It is bizarre how Breitbart used to be, Andrew Breitbart, all about the truth, wanted to get to Barack Obama's birth certificate issue. Ever since Steve Bannon, the guy who's pretty much the right-hand man to Donald Trump right now, people say he has white supremacist leanings. A lot of things are talked about Steve Bannon. Anyway, we're looking at his site, Breitbart. They're the ones spinning the story about stopping fake news. And they were even named in the original's claim that Podesta's put out about fake news. So the Podestas, yeah. If Pizzagate is true, wow, just wow. Rectal exam, good point. Yeah. So there's a lot of concern that the mainstream now, Breitbart being the mainstream, along with Huffington and other places, are pushing this garbage about all kinds of fake news out there that's talking about a pedophile ring at the top of the Washington, D.C. government that is controlling our future. And the safety of children is at stake here. Okay, there's another story that we need to talk about too.
अहिलेसम्म जति जोखिम भए पनि जोखिमै भए पनि अहिलेसम्म त्यस कारणले गर्दाखेरि अलिकति नडराउने मान्छे बलियो मान्छे हात खुट्टाले काम गर्न सक्ने त्यस्तो खालको मान्छे जानुपर्छ त्यस्तोले मात्रै गर्छ
I'm trying to find this loose one.
Just over that is a huge drop and they look totally comfortable. Just getting ready. They're like having a chuckle.
Oh, is that one? Okay, great. There's a gathering of people at the border, the severe amount of people arriving at the border, and I had that video earlier. I'm going to have to pull it up. Okay.
Before granting you entry to the United States, we have a few simple questions. It's just a formality.
Okay.
I'm actually Irish myself.
False.
No, I hadn't started.
Sorry.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Question 1. The United States is governed by two major parties. Can you name them?
The gun lobby and big tobacco.
What is the name of America's national holiday?
Black Friday.
In what state is the city of Chicago?
State of violence.
What is America's most dominant race?
The 100-meter butterfly.
Quick fire round. Finish these sentences. America is the greatest something in the world.
Weapons export.
Martin Luther King had a
Tough time getting equal rights.
Finally, the United States was founded in
The dubious circumstances surrounding
अहिलेसम्म
land
जति
claims of
जोखिम भए
indigenous
पनि
people.
जोखिमै भए पनि
That was funny.
त्यस कारणले गर्दाखेरि अलिकति नडराउने मान्छे बलियो मान्छे हात खुट्टाले काम गर्न सक्ने त्यस्तो खालको मान्छे जानुपर्छ त्यस्तोले मात्रै गर्छ
Well, isn't that
Just
special?
over that.
Yeah. This just came in. I'll talk about the gathering at the border in just a second. 2,000 veterans just arrived at Standing Rock to form a human shield. The water protectors are out there, located right now in North Dakota, near the border there with Canada. And there's been about 28,000 people gathering at this location. And the police said that you get a $1,000 fine if you bring food in to these people. And now they've got 2,000 veterans that are going there to stand up for them as a human shield around the protesters. It's fantastic, the concern that people are showing around the country to the plight of the people, the Native American people who are fighting for the environment in that region. It's amazing. All right, we'll get back to Pizzagate and the border crisis in just a second. Yeah, I'm just trying to piece this together here. Borders. What is Standing Rock about? It's about protecting the water from the pipeline. Okay, here's the border story that I mentioned earlier.
Hello again. So I have two very small channels with not much following, but this is going up in hopes that someone that does have a large following will comment on this situation. I am from the country of Mexico, and I'm from the state of Baja California. So today, something very strange happened. A couple of hundred, possibly thousands, of African migrants came out of nowhere, and they swarmed a shelter nearby. Now, these people do not speak English, they do not speak Spanish, but they are going over to the US border, having been granted some sort of pass or amnesty, I'm not certain. They're all, or at least the vast majority, men of their adult age, and it seems that some of them, not all, I'm not sure, but at least some, are Muslims. I don't know where they're from, and they're not saying a word. This is incredibly suspicious to me, and I think it is a very significant action, because having known the border very intimately for many years, I know that even one person crossing over from this specific border is very difficult to achieve. Now, crossing over hundreds or thousands of people is something that does not occur regularly. Not only that, this is very suspicious. This is something that is very significant. I hope this is broadcast by someone with a much wider net than I and commented on. This is fucked up, and something bad is going down. I don't know what it is. I'm just bringing it to your attention. Something is going down. This is highly irregular. So I guess I don't really have much else to say other than to tell you this is being reported by some of the news.
Oh. Any of you recognize these people? They're not crisis actors. They're called real immigrants, and they're coming into the country rapidly right now. So what has happened is Barack Obama obviously is a little bit more lax on the border than any other president we've ever had. And these people think that in just a few weeks, when Donald Trump becomes the president, that they're not going to be able to get into the country. They really believe that. So it's kind of strange. Guest chat's back on? Yes. So I'm not as xenophobic about the immigrant problem, although I'm the one who came up with the 1,000-mile fence idea. And I'm going to talk to you now about the possibility that we could make a very, very lethal electric fence at the border, very simply, by laying lines in the ground. Now, say this was the ground right here, and we were to put, I need to pick a better color than that. Something electrified. Say we're to put lines across here like this, between 2 points, and those lines are connected, and they aren't real lines. They're actually just what we call masers. Forces of electricity that are shooting between two solid points, one point delivering and the other point receiving. So say this was a distance between these 2 points of, say, 5 miles, line of sight. And there's very few barriers, and you could do a various grid pattern like that. Kind of like a cat's cradle, when you play with strings. Well, that's the concept that could be laid rather quickly. And we could have this technology rolled out within a year. Now, a lot of people are saying, oh no, you can't possibly build a fence in that short period of time. Yeah, you can. And it's totally possible to put rose bushes in front of it so that people don't hurt themselves. And they know in advance, because the thorns of rose bushes are very, very sharp. And rose bushes will grow in the desert. So I'm anticipating something natural with lots of thorns and then warnings everywhere. And then they cross over this mazer, right? And then they die. But lots of warnings. People need to be warned of the impending danger of crossing the border. So yeah, I'm the border guy. And Meow TV came in earlier and said, "Oh yeah, you can't possibly build the defense. It would take 10 years." He even wrote an entire blog on it. And it's so simple to connect the Maser technology to this type of defense field, and no one could. It'd be like better than a minefield because nobody would get hurt if it's off. People could still cross the border if it was off. If we just said, "Okay, we're turning it off." Yeah. I'm not. I'm just trying to keep the border safe. I'm an American, and Americans care about the border. Let me tell you, boy. You don't understand. I pull a lot of weight among the right-wing people, and I don't like it when Breitbart, a website that's supposed to stand for freedom and justice in America, is turning a blind eye to pedophiles that are secretly invested in our government. So that alone pissed me off earlier. You know, the idea that Breitbart would even think that they could be turned into a government operation designed to make you not look into this thing called Pizzagate. It just blows my mind that they would do that. Do I feel lucky? Did he fire 6 shots or only 5? Well, to tell you the truth, in all this excitement, I kind of lost track myself. But being this is a .44 Magnum, the most powerful handgun in the world, it would blow your head clean off. You've got to ask yourself one question. Do I feel lucky? Well, do ya, punk? I just had to say that. You know, I got caught in the voiceover. It's fun to do that stuff. That was an impersonation of Clint Eastwood. Yeah, great guy. A little confused now in this picture. I didn't practice it at all. Yeah. Hey. I've never done that actual speech. I'm trying to avoid it. So, would you like to talk about the chat? Or would you like to talk about the illegal aliens that are amassing at our border right now? Because Trump is going to be sworn in about 2-3 weeks. Yeah. What do you want to talk about? It's your choice. Would you like to talk about the secret pedophile ring in Washington, D.C.? Any topic under the sun you can talk about here. This is an open season. Freedom Friday is dedicated to your freedom to speak your mind. Talk about why Trump is behaving like a conehead. You know, maybe you don't like Trump. Maybe you think you're scared that maybe he's going to be like a dictator. We'll talk about that too. Okay, welcome to my neighborhood. Hi, neighbor. You see, I see these people as a potential problem for our country. That's why I've always said we don't have to have refugees pouring into our country. There's no obligation. We have our own country. You'd got to tell Nancy Pelosi that and Hillary Clinton that, but yeah. We've got to get justice. I think a lot of you have forgotten that Donald Trump does not want to prosecute Barack Obama. He doesn't want to prosecute Hillary Clinton. I think we talked about this last night. We did, right? Donald Trump has turned out to be a massive flip-flopper. Dum-da-dum-dum, dum-dum. And he won't even talk about Pizzagate, you know? Flip-flop, flip-flop. He's reversed his position on almost everything. And now we're kind of like in a state of freeze brain freeze. It's almost like you just took a massive amount of ice cream and your brain froze. You're like shocked. You're in shock and disbelief. I sense that all of America right now is suffering from this confusion. It's like the world does not seem to make sense anymore. It's almost as though you become lost in the Matrix, Mr. Anderson. Mr. Anderson! Why won't the guy who keeps mentioning Eric go away? Smith, because you're that guy, Eric. That's why. Yes, you have become him. Anybody who raises the question, who's Eric in our room, automatically is thought as the one who is Eric. So you get it's like passing the ball. You are now Mr. Anderson. God, I love that coffee. And it's so good for me, too. I found out it stopped all my cells from replicating. I'm so glad, too. I found a very interesting secret about aging. It occurred to me that cells replicate on a regular basis. And when they do, it creates friction. And your body's doing this in an autonomic way, automatically replicating its cells. So naturally, if you consume an antioxidant like coffee, you are simply slowing down the process of replication. Your cells no longer have to replicate, therefore you don't have to get old. It's that simple. So you can slow down your entire human body's operating system as well, using the power of your mind, Mr. Anderson. That's right. Sarah's coming in a little while. Don't worry. She'll be here. I don't want to push her. She's got her own timetable. No, I didn't want to even mention you. Lemon Moon mentioned you. Where's Sarah? Oh. So when you're laying there in your Zen state, like I am every day, you're in total peace with your inner self. That you are at one with the universe. You are simply static, slowly preventing the breakdown of your adipose, or your cell tissue, that's right, skin cells. That's right, the epidermal layer of your body is less. So instead of using Botox, or just stop replicating, simply become inert, like frozen, so that you can't tell. David, do you talk like this to Sarah when having sex? It is kind of a sexy voice, isn't it? Yeah, but there's nothing sexual about Mr. Smith from The Matrix. Yeah, so let's just, kind of like chill here. Obviously, there's a lot going on. I think a lot of you have future shock tonight. Your whole week, you've been working nonstop, working like a dog every night and day, and here you are, completely overwhelmed. You know, and I know, that sitting down and watching Netflix and chilling is the only solution for you tonight. I'm going to try to be both the papa and the mama here. Interactive virtual chat. I respond to your words. So if you have something interesting to say, I immediately respond. There's something wrong with the chat responder. I think that you have chosen not to think. Therefore, you are not here. Okay, so let's say goodbye to the Trump team, Team Trump, and we're going to clean up the comment pot. We're going to have that out of there. And Sarah, you are here. Thank you. Boy, everything came to a grinding halt once I banned a couple people. It's amazing. There was an attack that was like furious. This is Sarah, my companion and friend in life. Thank you. There was an attack that was just phenomenal earlier. And when the attack comes in, I just start muting and purging, and then it comes back again. It's like coming in waves. It's weird.
This is what life is all about.
We're not just friends. We're companions.
Together forever.
How was your day?
Awesome.
Good. I'm so
Hot
glad.
cocoa, popcorn.
Oh, really? It was like a sleep-in kind of thing. Yeah, that was fun. Well, I respect your choices, too. A lot of you have come to the show to exercise some level of freedom. In a world that clearly is not free, we can feel free. It's an illusion, This is what life's all about, yeah. You've come to the place. This is the font of inertness. I was telling people how I've learned to stop replicating my cells, and I'm slowing down the aging process in my mind. If you somehow take in lots of antioxidants like coffee every day,
Blueberries. Blueberry flavored coffee.
or anything with antioxidant potential, you can slow down your body's replication process.
Isn't it a fine leather coat?
Yes.
I got that for David.
It's pleather, by the way.
Pleather. That's
Pleather.
okay.
So I'm just thinking of new ways we can kind of talk about things other than discussing the obvious. Why the government is suppressing the word Pizzagate. We're still waiting on that information, Smith. I think Smith is a government operative. He seems to be taking the party line on shutting down the Pizzagate discussion. I'm personally of the belief that Breitbart has been taken over. Yeah, this is a pleather jacket. Amsterdam's coming in with 650,000 viewers right now. Thanks so much, folks. I hope you're sitting in a wonderful, peaceful boutique, enjoying the beauty around you. Yeah, but try to avoid heroin. Marijuana is turning out to be the best thing that happened to Washington State. And other states now are looking at the whole idea of legalization. So non-addictive marijuana, cannabis, something that Sarah has never tried and never wants to, is giving a lot of people relief. And people in Amsterdam should always consider, the potpourri of choices you have in the marijuana realm. Don't go into the heroin realm. That's where your life will get very dicey. You know, our government's been supporting the heroin warlords in Afghanistan for a long time. And it's part of the reason why heroin is so dirt cheap in Amsterdam and all around the country now. And a lot of families are losing their kids to overdoses from heroin.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah. I don't have children, but can you imagine having a beautiful child, raising that child, and finding out they're overdosed? Yeah, there's a lot of weird people out there.
I should go get orange juice or have you bring me some.
Yeah, I'll get you a glass.
And some ginger.
Okay.
Orange juice and ginger. 3 limas? Just 3? Hello, limas. Peru? Right? Oh, fentanyl. Yes, killing many. My beverage of the week is hot cocoa and orange juice. But not at the same time. Hot orange juice, cocoa, no. 2 turtles from the Galapagos. Yay! Oh, you meant llamas from the Andes, right? Not limas? Because limas I thought were like people that live in Lima. I would say, I'm sure it makes you feel good to start with, but then it like makes you feel like, here's actually, I'm going to do, can I draw on the screen, David?
Yeah. Yes, you can.
So here's the whiteboard, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, can I, where is it? How big is it?
You got to bring it up to the top of the screen. It's my electric grid. I was creating a mazer grid for the border. People are saying we can't build a border fence fast enough. You can get rid of it.
This one?
Yeah, hit escape. That clears it. You got
Okay,
more.
and then now I can, okay.
It's in green.
All right, Control Z. All right, and then
And
escape.
have your juice here.
All right, say for instance, this is, well, that's your baseline. Pretty close. But then what happens when you go on heroin is you go up like this, and then you go down like this. So, and then you go up and down further. Oops. And then you go up and down further. And then you eventually need it just to get back to the baseline if you never started. So that's the problem with it. I mean, it makes you feel good to start with, but then it makes you feel horrible when you're going off of it. It doesn't like go back down to like normal. It goes down to like crappy. All I know, Smith, is I'd rather not jump on the bandwagon at all. I'm not an investigator David might be, so he kind of seems like he would be the investigator type. So, David can continue to pursue it, and I can continue to not. Salty dog, what do you mean by that? Only on a hypothetical, theoretical basis, 504. I've never actually done anything like that. Where do I fit in that realm, 795? I was just someone who totally doesn't like me behavior. From what I've heard. Yeah, do I look like someone that has experimented with any of those things? No. Do I look like a bookworm who's read a lot about those things? Sure. Because I read a lot about everything. Thank you, 795. I do. I'm eating pure ginger. Well, what is it? It's like non-crystallized, but I like spicy food. Okay, salty dog, that's fine. How old are you? I'm working on it, 305. He feels like he has too much to lose, 795. To me it does. Okay, yeah, maybe you're right, Salty. Aren't I responsible for giving myself a better life, 795? No one is responsible for me except for me. You are responsible for you. So if you want to get off and give yourself a better life, why are you watching me? I'm drinking orange juice. $687, it's his house. So the answer is no. I live in David's house. Hello, Mad Dog. Oh, I'm so sorry. With a heart. I'm doing the... Yeah, you're right, Mad Dog. Thank you. Hello, Sarah. Hello, Mad Dog. It looks murky. Well, it's just orange juice. But I had an awesome week. I really did. I enjoyed it. Ooh, you have a pint of eggnog. Yummy. It is that time of year to start drinking some eggnog. What does that mean, Mad Dog? A toe job? I need to rub my foot? I am rubbing my foot. No, I haven't really 916, but I'm sure that might happen. Where would I go if David kicked me out? Well, I have friends and siblings. Okay, good. I'm glad you're proud of that, Salty. Oh, a pedicure. Yeah, that would be fun. Ooh, I've never tried that. Well, I wonder if I would just do coconut milk because I'm not a rum person. But that does sound good. I like coconut and I like eggnog, so maybe a little coconut milk in my eggnog next time. I've never tried that. They're really women. A lot of the people pretending to be gay guys on the internet are women. I've heard of the, straight guys pretending to be women on the internet, but I have never heard of the other. I'm going to ask David to bring me my phone. Hey, David, can you bring me my phone? All right. Anyway. Wow. Do you like coconut rum that much?
There you go.
Thank you. Okay, cool. A friend coming to visit me. So that's what that was. You thought homosexuality was dying out? I don't know. Oh, Mad Dog, thank you so much for saying hi to everybody. You make everybody feel like warm and welcoming and just loved. Can you see photos of me when I was a kid? No. Because there are no photos of me when I was a kid. I was always this way. No, I'm just kidding. Hi, Ninth Party. How are you? Computers that give people what they want to see. I know. I like how Mad Dog says, Sarah, focus on the positive. It is weird, Alien Sky. You might be right. You might be right. Well, you're 826, you're the one that was saying all those weird things that I would probably ban you for. Yeah, so.
Do you have to
or
do
mute
some texting? I can talk for a while.
No, I just have.
It's okay. I can fill
no, I don't.
You're good.
Someone's just coming over.
Oh.
Okay, we'll just. All right. David doesn't need any enhancing drugs at all. He's just one of those guys that doesn't need that. No, it's kind of, maybe it's a rare thing. I'm not sure, but I know it's just David doesn't need it. And then let me go down. There we go. I like that better. Yeah, #1 show. Because he doesn't need anything to enhance himself. Yeah, it seems like that's the truth, Salty Dog, here in America. Alien Sky, is that true? I wonder if that's the case. It's like, is it apparently becoming stronger in America and dying out everywhere else? You just put... So, Mr. Fry That Chicken is cooked pork chops with onions, bell peppers, garlics, mushroom gravy, green beans, and rice.
Mm-hmm.
You mean... Yeah, I don't know what he made. I know. I understand Korea TV 1, but he just doesn't want to do it. I could send his sister there. She likes world travel. Do you want to see his sister? She would go anywhere for that kind of attention. She loves being on stage. You could have his sister. I know she's not as great as David. She would love that. She's one of the world traveler people. No, I was the one that spread that rumor. Actually, it's not a rumor. It's completely true, 795. It's not a rumor if it's true. Uh-oh, should you get snacks? How come no one picks a fight with you? Because I guess maybe they're seeing you, what you say is valid? When was the last time I saw Wizard of Oz? 2 decades ago. Oh, I have all kinds of things in my pocket. Isn't it nice to always look at the positive Alien Sky? Instead of be like, what, those people are scared, maybe? And people actually would be like, no, I actually think you're pretty cool. My state senator, I think is Patty Murray, Democrat. Actually, you do. 7687. That was never my job to fix it. When I say you do, I mean like the idea that the government might secretly be watching our whatever we do online. Not that you're government, but you know, just being on the internet. I'm not with Alien 546, so it would be David does it if David doesn't mind. You saying that? If you're a guest and you want me to turn off guest chat, what, you just come in here to control the other guests or something? You do casting for the show New Girl? Would I like to debut? I like that show. That is a cool show. Who's that girl? It's Jess. I do like that show. I haven't seen this. I actually need to catch up on some of those. I would just be... I wouldn't want to outshine anyone on the show. No, I'm just kidding. I don't have that big of an ego. Do I? I could only do filming in the summer. People always said I should model or act. I only went to like one semi-casting call in my life. If you want me, sure. 396 if you're serious. You know my email. You know my phone number, or at least it's only available from my phone number is only available from 5 to 9 p.m. What are you talking about, 687? I've been with David forever. Sarah, don't make me love you, even though you do. I know, I have bad teeth. It's true. So you better start flossing and brushing your teeth and keeping track of your teeth. But on a show like that, I would just put in like those veneers or something like that. Oh, that's probably true. 516. No. No. My hair is here today. You think my hair will be gone tomorrow? If I cut it all off, it will be. Rodney constantly talks about my dental work and how I need better teeth work. I would have to wear braces. Here's the thing. If I really wanted to get my teeth fixed, it would cost thousands of dollars. I would have to wear braces, and then Invisalign, it wouldn't cut it. Not with the repair work that I need. 121. No. When's the last time you saw me? If it's really you, 223. And what's your last name? Caesar. Well, I could do that. 504. I do have dental insurance, but they don't cover braces, orthodontics. No, it covers cleaning, and I do, I do get cleanings. Actually, to do quite a bit of cleanings, and I do. I do take care of myself as much as I am. Yeah, braces are considered cosmetic, but exactly. So I take care of my teeth as much as I can. Yeah, I'm sure, culprit. All right. Thank you, chicken. Thanks, Lemon Moon. Oh, 223, are you married? With children? Would I allow you to propose a solution to a problem? That was good. Propose. Don't give it up. Are you in love with your wife? Do you love your wife? Do you love your children? Oh, well, 465, I'm taken. I have no idea, 687. Why would anyone do that? I don't know. Thanks, 546. Yeah, cost of Invisalign, 3 to 8 grand. You're right. I guess that's expensive too. And braces and things like that. Smith Wicks, but it won't happen. You ask me hard questions because I'm in my prime. Nope, 687. Not embarrassed in the least. Yeah, sometimes people are like that out there. I don't even know your last name, Josh. Do you know your last name? What is your last name? And what is it Caesar? Oh, okay. What does it start with? Just an initial. Otherwise, you're not who you say you are. And you just are biting onto a little tidbit of information. Oh goodness, really? 607? Why? What is it? You're gonna like take everyone's identity? You've won an iPhone 7. We just need your social security card, social security number, all of your that's so funny. You're just sharing. Of course DT missed you. How can you guys live so far apart, Mad Dog?
Yeah, really.
I don't get it.
I don't
Isn't
either.
DT a lure up in Canada? Is it because of the immigration laws?
See, the immigration.
I know, Lemon Moon.
It's not easy to go across the border. And we don't travel across the border either, Sarah. You know.
You know, Americans oftentimes don't leave their own country because the Border Patrol is like a nightmare coming back into the country. You've got to leave with a passport. If you don't come back with a passport, you really get worked over. They'll hold you and detain you, jail you. Yeah. We're not really talking about other broadcasts tonight. Yeah, I know that sounds a little strange. It is dark, I know. I went over and did some dinner things. You know, I didn't prepare Sarah any dinner, but you have the choice of that wonderful fettuccine dish I made, crab, spinach fettuccine.
Okay.
That's in the refrigerator, or some rice with some cheese melted on it. That would be, you know, kind of a light dinner. Okay. And there's some Brussels sprouts for you inside
good.
there.
Thank you. Awesome.
We got to stop that. That's not cool. We don't want to turn the country into a. This is an America Third Party chat show where we talk about politics, not. Korea TV's here. Yes, David, I would thank you so much. Did you hear from Korea TV? What he just said?
Yeah, he wants you to come to. He's been asking me for days to get you to come to Seoul, South Korea, because he says he wants you to come speak at a stadium, and he'll pay for your hotel, your plane fare, everything. They want you to go to Seoul.
I know, and I just can't do that. You know, it's not possible.
David won't sell his soul to go to Seoul.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's amazing. I'm just reading the chat here. Hey, how you doing? He's come to Seoul, South Korea. It's been a long time since I've been to Seoul. I've never been to Seoul. I've never been to Seoul. But I'd love to find out more about your country, you know, remotely, of course, through the mainframe of our server. Hi, Dimples. Hey. Well, you know, I'm just enjoying the good times here tonight. Bill, I have 2.8 million people watching in Finland, yeah. Yeah, that represents, this is a tie that represents America, freedom. That's what we stand for. And right now, I think we've got a lot of problems. We've got this massive uprising of Native Americans, 28,000 of them, that Trump won't talk about. It's called the Dakota Access Pipeline, DAPL. And that's troubling. And then we got 2,000 veterans that just went in there to help out as a human barrier because the police are coming down on the poor people. And these are just water protectors. People, Native Americans, who believe that their water should be protected from the pipeline and all the ravages of industrial pollution. No, I have no sense of ball. You guys are, I'm going to turn this light off. You keep thinking that I've got a shiner up here. It's so funny. Oh, God. Yeah, it's just the lighting effect. Yeah, this is just a lighting effect. Thank you. Yeah, I have plenty of hair up here. Good head of hair. No, really? No, yeah. Well, it's my real hair. David, do you have 48 million followers in Australia? No. They won't. Well, the fact is, we are number one in the Melbourne market, and Sydney 7 said we're number one there too. So, I don't know what the deal is. I mean, aside from the great graphics we have here, why won't Conehead Trump talk about DAPL? And he won't talk about other things too, like white Pizzagate. How come he won't talk about Pizzagate? What is Trump hiding? That's what I'm worried about. Pizzagate is an important issue. And if we don't get to the bottom of these child pedophilia rings, what are we going to do? You just forget about it? I mean, these emails are overwhelmingly disturbing. Have you read them and heard them? I've got one clip from SGT Report. We'll play you at the end of our show here. We'll start off with that. It's just mind-blowing. It's like kids being... I am number one in the mobile. Yes. Thank you. Douche trash. STFU. What's going on? You're attacking 516? What are you guys angry at each other? We're having a guest chat war over there. Okay, I hear you. What is there to do about Pizzagate? Well, hey Donald, you need to check in, and because you haven't talked about it at all. It is evident from a couple of Instagram messages people have gathered off the internet now that the eyes are looking in. And all these emails that came up through WikiLeaks, that's the only thing that came out of WikiLeaks of any substance, led back to Hillary and Podesta on this weird network of children and pizza. And it's got to be bigger than Benghazi. I mean, you notice how Benghazi's become a non-issue? Because this thing is it can't go away. It's just percolating on the internet. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I know. Well, he likes to call everybody Caesar. That's the thing. We don't even know if the person who's calling everybody Caesar isn't Caesar. Whoever Caesar is. Do you have anything to actually link Podesta to this, Pizzagate? Yes, the WikiLeaks do. When all this is going to become more and more available as time goes on. Right now, the people are bunching countless emails that were released by WikiLeaks, the government operation WikiLeaks. You probably have heard of it, where they have Julian Assange captive somewhere in Ecuador, and they tell him what to say. When he doesn't want to cooperate, they have a video edited face change where it actually looks like him. Anyway, they're trying to cover up the whole story. And they pushed this article about fake news ahead of Pizzagate, but fake news is nothing. Fake news is just a bunch of Podesta's media outlets saying, well, these stories about Pizzagate are all fake news. So it's the perpetrators themselves that are trying to run an anti-media campaign against themselves. I mean, this is unheard of in American history. Somebody so powerful like the Podesta brothers can take control over the media, hijacking the entire nation. And the views then go, oh, we don't talk about Pizzagate because it's just wasting resources, and the poor people that run that restaurant, and we don't want to even bother to subpoena them and check to see if there's an underground tunnel underneath the restaurant leading to God knows what, torture chambers. I mean, hello. There's 34,000 kids missing in America this year alone, right now. No one knows where they are. So yeah, and the Dakota Access Pipeline is super important that Trump won't talk about because he has $2 million invested in that. All right. We're going to not allow dangerous, violent chat here. Thank you. Oh, come on. I'm trying to make this thing relevant. You got a guy who wants to talk about appointing... who is the most recent absurd appointment? Oh, yeah. Chow. He's appointing Chow to transportation, I believe. Excuse me, are you going to start this again? Because if you are, I'm after you. We will mute all night long. All night long. Mute all night long. God, you just keep it up, don't you? You can't have a nice time in chat without making up lies. Oh well. Okay, let's look this up. Ciao. Yeah, I'm going to my linked library now. It's another alternative. No, Pizzagate is the real story. You're the idiot who bought the fake story. The whole story of fake news is perpetrated by people who are the fake news. Here's the latest cabinet pick. Check this out. Now, if Donald Trump couldn't get any more out there, he's certainly doing one heck of a job, I'll tell you. Yeah, his most recent cabinet pick for transportation. For some reason, that picture is not coming up. Let me pull up Elaine Chao. Yeah, her father is connected to a heroin. Yeah, Trump's shocked. Who is Elaine Chao? Yeah, her father is connected to a heroin bust. He owned a major shipping liner that was connected to a heroin bust. Here she is. She's a very attractive woman, you know. Married to Mitch McConnell. Dude, I have no connection to that. You're a sick freak. I told you, you're out of here. God, what a weirdo. Yeah. I'm glad you're all chatting. A lot of chatty Cathys out here. David Rock has some good ideas and information. David Rocks has good information. That is correct. Thank you so much for coming in. Banned finger tracker. Okay, where is finger tracker? I'm going to go to the sideline here and pull him up. Oh, gotcha. Oh, you're elusive, I'll tell you. They hate me. So why are they lying against you? You were kidding? Okay. Be nice. I don't want you to have a meltdown and get all weird out. You know, you know how things can get with you. So we've got a couple things on the agenda here: Pizzagate and DAPL. Anything else on the agenda we can talk about tonight? Feel free. Plug TV is taking a year. Not a good start, I know. Yeah, I agree, 893. Wow. Well, Finger Tracker's said? Really? All right, well, you better be kidding, Finger Tracker. Okay, hopefully you'll straighten up your act. You want to talk about Uma Abedin. Where is Uma Abedin? Yes, let's go there. Oh, Umadin, where is Uma Abedin? La 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 la. Maybe Christmas she might show up. FBI still holding Uma Abedin's emails. That's the most recent, one day ago. Anthony Weiner comes home. Filmmakers recall an experience. 2 days ago. No, we haven't played Can't Stop till 7:30. Thank you. Oh, Umadin, oh, Umadin, oh. Anthony Weiner comes home. Filmmakers recall experience. Oh. This sounds like a lovely couple. To air is Uma and Anthony. After a month of sex addiction rehab in Tennessee, Anthony Weiner returned Tuesday to the New York apartment he shared with his 4-year-old son and his wife, Uma Abedin, who spent the day getting her hair and nails done, according to the Daily Mail. Where Abaddon and Wiener go from here is anyone's guess, even to filmmakers Josh Kriegman and Elise Steinberg, who shot the documentary Wiener one night before the disgraced congressman's homecoming. The pair said both characters in this ongoing drama are complicated people. I think a lot of people wondered. There was rumor that she was having some problems, but apparently she showed up to make a cameo 2 days ago. So, oh no! Uh-oh. Spaghetti-o. We've got the Trumpster flip-flopping. Okay. And turn off guess. Okay. Thank you for the instruction. You are an annoying piece of work too yourself. Yeah. You don't think I do this for a living? Because I don't. Dave is president of... No, I'm not. Gosh, you guys come up with such lies, it's unbelievable. No, I would mind, yes. Okay, let's get a clear chat here. Let's stop the negative chat. I will use the mute dar, which is a brand new chat dar feature I've created. Mute dar and purge dar. But chat dar is the utility I'm using to cull the negativity in this chat room. Is it because some of you are in love with Trump or something? I mean, what's going on? You don't mind him putting George W. Bush candidates in the transition team? I will not. Thank you, Demisk. Miscellaneous, how are you? Demisk. You're new here. Demisk is, what do you mean? Yeah. What does that name mean? Okay, give me some background on it. Are you from Damascus? Are you some sort of a supporter of Assad, trying to stop the imperialistic Americans from pushing into your territory? Yes. Excuse me, ICAD. Don't start attacking our supporters here. Thank you. Yeah, things got quiet all of a sudden. Let me open up guest chat. Okay, so that's what happens when I open up guest chat. I would love to be able to get a brighter light over here. And I don't think I have that feature. No. See, that's the thing. The top light really doesn't work for me. Because people think I have, like, some sort of a loss of hair, and my hair is, like, really healthy. And I've got healthy hair. Great show. Hey, thank you. Thanks for coming in. Anything at all we can talk about, I want to remind everybody that I am going to veto all bills over 100 pages. It's a promise I will make in 2020. I know I lost 90 viewers when I turned off the guest chat. I know, I have to do whatever I have to do. Let's see. I don't know. I think I put all my lights outside, yeah. Yeah. That's the ticket. Yeah. Dave, what year was your gay birth year? What? What the hell, man? Can't you spot a heterosexual when you see one? What the hell, man? The One Night of Wiener in Paris. Interesting. A new documentary. Well, it does kind of, prevent me from running real fast without, sloshing around. I've been running for president for this is going on my my fourth run. No, 2000, yeah, it'll be the fourth run if I do the whole, the full distance. There you go. All right, so we've got a lot to talk about, not a lot of time. Let's keep it short. I don't know, I'm cracking myself up. I can't help it. I should go on the Conan O'Brien show. But then who the hell is Conan O'Brien? Should we do a pink outline on the Pizzagate thing? That would be kind of fun. Is it because my Pizzagate thing is bothering you that you don't want to talk, or you don't know what to say?
Oh, I'm not supposed to talk about this. I've been told that we're supposed to forget about the pedophiles in Washington, D.C. Ho ho.
Yeah, I just thought it would be important to talk about it. Pizzagate, anybody? Okay, nothing to talk about there. Flip-flopping? I handle the media the same way anyone who doesn't remember every little thing they've said over the course of their whole life. Most people have never had the media try to trap them. It's not fun, it's not pleasant, and I'm smart enough to avoid their snares, just like I jump through loopholes for taxes. I'm smart. Donald? Is this really Donald Trump in the room? Look at this, folks. Donald, you haven't been in here since 2012. We've got the real Donald Trump in here, folks. We better check it out. That is about as Donaldish as I've ever seen it. Wow, we've got the real guy. Hey, Donald. Okay. Took some time to get into our show. What do you want to talk about? Let's hit it. Hit it hard. I understand you're working with a team of George W. Bush players. Yeah. That looks like you. I'm going to copy that. Yeah, he came in and talked to us back in 2012 when he first came in just to steal my ideas. And I got to tell you, those ideas were good. It won. You won the race, Donald. You were smart enough to steal those ideas. Good for you. Nice job, buddy. If you can get away with it, right? You know, you got away with it. All right. That's interesting. Oh, yes. Okay. I'm going to record this data as if it was indeed Donald Trump. Let's go back through and call through the chat and find out if anything else was said. Donald, thanks for coming in, man. Well, I guess I beckoned you with the cone head icon. It must be your talking point. If only the people of this country supported you like that, Dave. Oh, interesting. Yeah, that's something you would say. I think we have a legitimate Donald Trump in the room, folks. Mousegate, LOL. Interesting. I think the Stein woman's doing her job. Guess 396 wanted to know. A long time ago. Okay. There we go. I'm pack up to chat. I read 6,000 words a minute, so it doesn't take me long. $40 an hour, and not in this country. We're having a hard time sustaining $15 an hour. David, if you would be president, if you would lobby us to buy you out, no. I don't want to allow lobbyist money to control the presidency. Okay, Donald Trump says, were the ideas in question patented? My lawyer assured me they were not. You're absolutely right, but there is that question of intellectual property, but we're going to shelve that now because I've got the real Donald Trump in the room, folks. Interesting. Wow. Donald Trump in the room. Well, thank you. I must say, you're going through a lot. Your transition, you know I'm an American and I support this country. And I'm doing everything I can to, pry you along and give you tips. But this is the only way we're going to keep all players involved happy, is to make sure we address some of the key issues facing the country. And DAPL and Pizzagate are two of the key issues that are currently big on the internet, Donald. Yeah. And that's why we're kind of like concerned. We're concerned that there's a secret cabal of pedophiles in Washington, D.C. that hasn't been investigated. So you might want to start by, this is just a suggestion, firing James Comey, for starters. Because I think what he did during the election with Hillary Clinton was a mistake. I think it really was. He didn't deserve the role of director of the FBI after that. You don't bring up an issue when you don't even have any real evidence, saying that this Wiener story was going to go viral and take down Hillary. They're opening up the story. So that changed everything. I know you got your hands, Phil. It's a very strange experience, I know. Well, you and I should open up chat, anytime personally and talk. I just can't get over it. We've got the real Donald Trump in our room, folks. Yeah, I read his chat the time he came in 2012, and it's just like, wow. I'm honored. Yeah. It must be the dark motif in the background that's attracted you. Well, we would talk more about this case of pedophilia, but, at this point, we need hard evidence. And that's where the FBI could really, really improve. If they started to make a move toward opening up this investigation full wide with a new director of the FBI, and if it did, snake back into Hillary's camp and, implicate Podesto or Weiner or any of these people for that matter, it's got to be something we can actually pull up. And the American people need a bone thrown to them to know that their country is stopping this. That's the biggest concern we have. So somebody's going to go down, whether it's Weiner, Abaddon, Huma, either way. Somebody's going to go down for this this activity. So, and somebody might get complete, no. Please stop spamming. No prosecution, complete anonymity to the whole thing. They could get. You have 20 years of law enforcement. I think you'd make a great director. Officer Moe's here. He wants to be the director. Officer Moe, Donald Trump. Well, Donald, we'll be working on the evidence. We're still piecing it together. Thank you. Yes, Scissorfied, rightfully so, doesn't believe him. Well, I'm reading syntax, Scissorfied. I'm a chat, kind of like a palm reader. I'm a chat reader. And I read syntax, and I think we do have the real guy here. All right, Donald. Well, good luck with your transition team. I want you to, consider John Allison for the Director of Treasury. Secretary of Treasury, simply because we need to move on this ending the Fed thing. By the way, while I have you here, we want to make sure that if the Fed wants to end because their debt load is so high and they want to close shop, this might be a good opportunity, and you can put a feather in your hat at this point in our evolution. That's right. You'd be the guy to end the Fed. Be huge, Donald. Huge. And that would be a big move in the right direction. Yeah. Clear eyes. Thinking about the future. Well, if I was talking to him, and we're assuming he is the real guy here. Thank you. Well, we're looking at a restructuring now. My idea of the infrastructure bank, interesting concept. You may also like this idea. I'm selling this concept to for free. I'm gonna vote. I will veto all bills over 100 pages. Now that's a way to streamline. The government's never seen anything like this. If you take this idea, you're welcome to have it. Yeah, I'm giving away ideas tonight. But yeah, that's a good one. Give that a shot. Yes, my eyes are looking pink. Let me adjust the tint. Hang on. Is that better? Good. Now, I didn't want to have pink eye. Now it's pretty much white all the way along. Okay, well, we can take care of that. We just put, sunglasses on. I can still talk to Donald. Thank you. Okay, another thing we want to look at possibly is, since you don't want to end the Fed, at least build a parallel infrastructure bank. That's a smart move. That way the government treasury discount window goes directly into the infrastructure, and you might like it as a slush fund for helping, finance some of your operations. At the very least, it would help. And don't forget, our biggest quest here in America is to get $400 per U.S. citizen per adult into the hands of everybody. And this will get rid of welfare too, Donald. This eliminates welfare in one fell swoop. You simply expand the EBT program. I know the infrastructure is very important to you. Well, since you got the job and you've taken on all this responsibility, you got to, think about all these contingencies. But $400 a month will trigger growth in our service economy and help our retail sectors survive during this time. No, I wasn't spending a nighttime breathing farts. Thank you, though. Yeah, if that's the real Donald, I'll eat my own crap. Meta-Nemesis, I really think this is the real Donald. Yeah. You notice how I'm not banning him, or I'm giving him ample room to express himself? I'm even going to make a little notepad of this conversation, just because it's so interesting. Yeah, so I don't mind. I'm willing to work with people. I'm not holding grudges against anybody right now. My goal is to just keep the dialogue moving, if we can. Oh, Pizzagate, oh, Pizzagate. La 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 la. Post timestamp, yeah. Of course. People can think what they want. Yeah, that's true. Well, there's so many things to talk about, really, that it's almost overwhelming. The issue of the police brutality, all the cops killing people unnecessarily in the country, that's a serious problem. And to mitigate hostility and civil strife in cities like Chicago, something has to be done. And Rahm Emanuel may not be the person to do it. Implementing a national strategy of sensitivity training for cops would really help. So we're going to drop the Wiener case here. And in honor of Donald Trump's arrival here, we're going to pull down his flip-flop images. Thank you. I came in here because I've been accused of theft, was informed this man plans to take me to court. I came to see if he was serious about it, to tell you the truth. I can see now he's not. Good. Thank you. Well, thanks for coming in. Yeah, I'm not planning on a lawsuit against you, Donald. People were coming in and assuming that you were going to sue me. Yeah. I know. And I appreciate you coming in and clarifying it. You know that I'm not a person who sues people. I countersue them. But no, really. I know, Scissor Fight. We're going with this, though. So far, he's checking out. Thank you. All right, well, this has been exciting. If you have any questions for Donald, you can bring them up in the chat room and we can have them answered for you. You know, some of you might want to ask Donald a question directly. No. The ideas are open season. I even knew when I was doing the work of talking about all of my campaign ideas, which Donald obviously likes so much, he used as his own. I was simply trying to, get the word out, and I'd realized a lot of this was open source. Even my Savonius windmill idea, which could be put on telephone poles around the country. This is a concept that could very well save our electric grid. And this idea is the concept of putting it on telephone poles is my idea. But the concept itself is a Creative Commons idea, open source, created by a man named Savonius. It's the Savonius windmill at the top. So, pretty cool. And this idea could very well power up our electric grid and provide us solutions in the event of a serious outage. So these ideas are still moving forward. I'm definitely moving forward for 2020, and we're going to keep this rolling. But rolling, rawhide. So they want to know how Melania is. I don't think Melania is going to be in the White House. Good luck to you, too. Thank you. Have your team look into it. Thanks for coming in, if you can't hang out with your busy schedule. And thanks for coming in to clarify that nobody's suing anybody right now. Appreciate it. It's always nice to touch base with somebody as powerful as Donald Trump in our country right now. Even if I may disagree with him on all kinds of points, that's what America's made of. We're made of people disagreeing with each other whenever we can. Simply to keep everybody honest. That's what we want. It's all in our best interest to have an honest government. So that's why I'm asking Donald to open up an investigation into Pizzagate, for real. And don't put John Bannon, or don't put Steve Bannon on it. Steve Bannon and Breitbart seems to be working against the whole concept of investigating what this is, what this ring of pedophilia is in Washington, D.C. So if you can act just ahead of everybody, it's going to actually help keep you clean all the way down the line. Good night, Donald. Donald's signing off tonight, everybody. Let's do a screen cap of him saying good night to everybody. There's Donald Trump saying good night. Good night, guys. Make America great again. All right. Wow, that was amazing, huh? Having a visit by the real Donald Trump in our show tonight. I think we made history. Scissor Fight still doesn't believe it's him. I know. We have the chat covered, so we can keep an eye on this whole thing. Well, good luck to you two. That's good. You know, I have a text file of the chat so we can at least copy it. We don't know who it really is, the real Donald, but it's why not take it, into consideration. Bye. Save as, and we'll date this 12/2/2016. Yeah, hard to say. I'm a chat profiler, like I said, so he fits all of the Donald Trump communication points. He didn't fail any of the tests. He did a stress test. I did a stress test on him to verify, and I think it really is him. Well, listen, guys, we're in this together. As much as I'd like to, turn the campaign up, I'd rather just talk about the country. Yeah, really. Hang that screen cap. I'm not doing a screen cap. I could, though. Screen cap. All right. Good idea. Thank you. I'm at the point where if we can get some answers to some of the things, so why there has to be very little environmental control, we need to solve the problem up in Dakota. The people there, especially the water protectors, absolutely need answers and assurances that the line can be laid in an area that can be environmentally protected. I mean, these are like really important, and just ignoring the issue is not going to solve it. Thank you. Yep. That's all I can hope for. I know. It did seem like a wannabe too. Yeah. I'm reserving the question. I didn't see all the chat he put out, but I'll look at it later. All right, here we go. Oh, wow, yeah. This is a new thing they're doing in the Olympics. It's kind of like shuffleboard, but yeah, it's kiddie board. That's hilarious. I guess she has a fur coat. She could take it. She can take a slide. I don't think Ed's going to need a job. He's dealing with some pretty tough medical issues right now. My son moved to the Dakotas and is getting rich off the oil companies as a chief. It was true during the gold rush. It's true now. Do waste your time drilling. Just drill the people doing the drilling. Okay. I'm trying to read what you said, the gold rush. It's true now. Do waste your time drilling. Just drill the people doing the drilling. Are you proposing you're going to open up a house of prostitution in North Dakota? I've been trying to figure out what you're all about, Officer Mo. Well, I look like Lurch from the... Well, thank you so much. We have a person who's identified my real human character. You rang. Lurch. Get Morticia some. You rang. Okay, I don't know who that is, but I am convinced that this Lurch thing has some viability. We can work with that. Some people say I look just like Albert Einstein. I don't know. I mean, I seem to resemble him quite a bit, but I don't do the tongue thing, kind of like Gary Johnson. I don't do that. It's supposed to be a great state to live in. You betcha. You better believe it. You got that right. Yep. Sure. Did it. Some people think I look like the guy from Hail Bob. possibilities. And that's more like it. Oh my gosh. He has a slightly different nose. Similarities in tongues? Really? How would you know? You have never seen my tongue. My tongue is like a stealth weapon, like this snail. It delivers an amazing attack on its enemies. I have lightning fast wit. I can take you out in a second. I am a master of verbal combat. Try me. Dave has proof that Trump was watching his show, apparently? Not really. No. It's just that he fit the bill. It looked very, very similar to something we had encountered in 2012. I'll be analyzing the chat again to verify, but we've got people working on the side, working on their motion, and this woman really does have a particular spin going, I guess. Oh, sorry. Here, Einstein was getting all excited and hot and heavy there. Master of... No, I am a karate guy myself. Some people who drink a little too much and you got to bounce them out of the bar. That alcohol can be flammable in their bodies, so you've got to be very careful not to throw them too fast and too hard. They become an incendiary device. Yes. I'm looking for lurch, and I'm pulling up things like this. Go ahead and make my day, punk. Yeah. I kind of look like Richie Cunningham. Thanks. Yeah, this is the... Gee, what does Dave look like? You want to hang out with Dave? All you got to do is sit here and talk about his face and facial reconstructive surgeries and alternate personality disorders. Not me. You're just talking to me, deconstructed Dave. What you're about to experience is strange and mesmerizing. Do not look into the star. Doot, doot. So, we're getting rid of the headshot here. Excuse me, sir, but malfunction. Yeah, Clint was born that way. What style of karate do you do, David? I do Shotokan style. But you do not know my secret sensei. No, I've seen Chuck Norris, but I've never seen him in action like this. This is him throwing some punches. I can throw a faster punch than that. So that just gives you an idea of my speed. I've shown my speed online. I'm not going to do it right now. You're traveling through another dimension. A dimension of both sight and sound. Of both things and ideas. You've just crossed over into a wondrous land of David Sponheim. A wannabe presidential candidate. Striving against all odds to get some mainstream media attention. Well, what do you mean? I think there's government sponsors. Let me tell you this, Mr. Dave's Ego Machine, or Ego Medicine. This is the deal. I know for a fact that Eric Schmidt, the CEO, the former CEO of Google, is working for a Department of Defense. Go ahead and look it up. Google it. He's a DOD guy now. So if that doesn't show you that the Google operation is a social network being used by the government to monitor your behavior, tracking your every move on the internet. That is why cybernetics is being utilized to interrupt your thought processes to bring out new ideas. Trump spokeswoman Hillary may still be prosecuted. Thank you. Maybe Trump was listening. Well, you know, I think he tracks our show. He knows that we're kind of on the edge. And the Trump spokeswoman, who obviously got herself a win somehow in Washington, is very proud to say that she says Trump spokesman Hillary may still be prosecuted. Donald Trump spokeswoman Kellyanne Conway left the option of pursuing charges against Hillary Clinton open during an interview Friday. Wow, that's good.
Trump senior advisor Kellyanne Conway joins us now from Boston. Kelly, it did get pretty heated last night. Thank you for joining us this morning. Now, it's unlikely you're going to ever win over Clinton aides, but how about her voters? It is a fact that President-elect Trump lost the popular vote. How does President-elect Trump reach out to that majority of voters who did not support him?
George, he keeps doing what he said he'd promised to do on election night, which is be the president of all Americans, including those who do not vote for him. And he's already reaching out to people in many different ways. Look, I understand it was a bruising campaign. I understand the Clinton team and most people in America never even thought about the possibility that the other candidate, Donald Trump, might win, but he did. And he won 30 of 50 states, and he won 2,600 counties, and he turned 200 counties that President Obama had carried over to the Donald Trump column. That doesn't happen because of a Jim Comey letter. That doesn't happen because of media coverage. It happens when you have a message that connects with Americans. And you saw that message on display yesterday in Indianapolis. Donald Trump, before he's even inaugurated, made good on the promise to keep American jobs in America. People want these kinds of results. And I just, the idea that people can't get past the grief, denial, and anger stages and into the acceptance stages really defies what Secretary Clinton and President Obama themselves had said.
And I want to talk about the
this is our president-elect.
I want to talk about that carrier deal as well, but you talk about the bruising campaign. It seemed to continue last night in Cincinnati. You had that crowd chanting, "Lock her up, lock her up."
Although we did have a lot of fun.
That's the way they feel. And there will be officials who are in charge of such things in the Trump administration who may look at that again. But Donald Trump made very clear last week as the president-elect that he's moved on from that he's more focused on things like healthcare, immigration, bringing jobs back to America.
So you're
in the case of carrier, keeping them here in the first
now that the
place.
Trump administration may actually pursue prosecution?
No, I'm not suggesting that at all. That would be something I would not be able to say. But I'm reminding everybody what the president-elect said last week, which is he's moving on to focus on the future, not the past. And he has said to the New York Times on the record, he thinks that the Clintons have suffered enough. Of course, the Department of Justice, the different committees, the FBI perhaps, can take a different look. But nobody expects that. Nobody's talking about that right now. And I think yesterday was just a great day for him to go and say thank you.
Okay, so this is not what we think it is. Yeah, this is a total misread on the story. Hillary may still be prosecuted. No, that's not at all what she said. And isn't it interesting how when you listen to the actual video, you see how ridiculous this is? Yeah, he's still not going to pursue any prosecution of Clinton. Big mistake. Yeah, they've suffered enough. I think they're missing it. I think the Trump flip-flopper is back up again. Yeah, thank you. Well, you can come in and, corroborate information or not. Either way, we're going to still ride him hard, and we're going to stop this incredible belief that this guy is offering you new ideas when he takes my ideas. And at the same time, it's open season, like he said in chat, if that really was him. It's open season. When an idea is not patented, it can be attempted to take over. But in the context of a political campaign, political ideas are intellectual property and could be argued, nuh-uh, sorry, that's a foul. You can't just take an entire campaign strategy and use it for your own while that person is censored in the media for 8 years. I would have a serious case against him. But I'm not going to pursue that because I think at this time we have to, in a way, I'm backing off of any action. In the same way, I guess he's backing off of any action on Clinton. And I don't believe that that's good enough. I think the American people need to know. Your eye fell out a few days ago? Oh my God, are you serious? 392, what happened? Tell me about it. 392 is eye fell out. What, did you get in an accident or something? Thank you. We're going to give him some leeway. Look, at this guy is the elected, at this point, the elected president-elect, that has to have as much leeway as he can. Let's see what he can do. Lots of people are saying, yeah, let's give the guy a chance. Remember, Obama didn't do anything for 8 years. Let's see if he can make something happen in 1 year. So, I mean, I'm more than amenable to the idea that this guy is going to be moving forward, but I don't want to see any evidence of business in the White House. And we know now that he's separating his business. He's giving it to his family. And I was very vocal about that. I'm glad I was, because you cannot run your business out of the White House. And second of all, Connections with Russia. I turned up the heat really hard the past few weeks because I really don't want Russia thinking they've got an inside deal with us. The U.S. received nearly 2,500 refugees who've been rejected by Australia. But not even top lawmakers can get answers about who they are. Wow, this could be the border gathering that we're looking at. There's a massive gathering of refugees at the Mexican border right now. It's like Trump getting the inaugural address coming up on the night. I guess the decision is on the 19th. They're going to finally, the electors are going to vote on the 19th. But by the time the inaugural address comes around in January, yeah, you're going to see a major change in this country, that's for sure.
All right, they keep asking, who did Abdul Razak Ali Artan know, and was he in contact with them, namely ISIS, right before the attacks in Ohio? We'll never know. He's dead. But President-elect Donald Trump is arguing that the attacker should not have been here in the very first place, tweeting the following: ISIS is taking credit for the terrible attack at Ohio State University by a Somali refugee who should not have been in our country. Lieutenant Colonel Tony Schaefer joins us right now, served this country very honorably in the U.S. Army. Good to have you, sir. What do you make of this? Now, it's called and heightened the need, Donald Trump says, and others, for more vigorous vetting. What do we do? I mean, if not to target all Muslims, those from Somalia, those that have visited Somalia, Pakistan, what?
See, I'm of the belief that this whole thing, I'm going to go back to the chat room. I'm of the belief the whole thing is actually just being fomented. I almost think that was a false flag. I don't know. Does anybody else believe that was a false flag? The whole event? Hang on. The alleged attack on football players. I got it. Yeah, that's the usual harasser, the guy who's stalking our show. Yeah, we're not going to be able to address any calls from that person. So I'm of the belief that it could be a false flag. We have maybe some stuff popping up on the internet about that. We did play one video. Not a lot of hard evidence of attempted knifings. Yeah, we can assume it is. Yeah, is that you? Rodney, is that your name? Dave's the Ego Machine. First day Wisconsin recount nets Hillary 1 vote. Wow. Good. Wow, that's excellent. She's 1 vote ahead. They found a fake vote. So far that 4 million or 7 million they're spending is going to help. Michigan is, by the way, going to not allow a recount. They're going against Jill Stein in court right now. One vote narrowed. Okay, yeah, the links don't play on those on the Firefox on that one. Cool. Well, I'm glad for Hillary. Congratulate. That'll make her feel better with her shiner that she has. Trump left, Potato Girl. Yeah, he was here just to tell me he was, concerned about this. Somebody was threatening, claiming that I was saying I was going to sue him, and he just wanted to verify I wasn't going to sue him. Yeah. I was in response to somebody threatening me that he was going to sue me. So it was kind of like a ridiculous tit for tat. Yeah, I want to move on too, but I don't think we should forget about Clinton, and I think we should press harder and prosecute her. Leaving the Clintons to continue their legacy and their connection to Pizzagate, I don't know. We're going to have to do something to help resolve the Hillary problem.
What difference at this point does it make? 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 What difference at this point? Difference at this point? What difference at this point does it make? What difference at this point? Difference at this point? Difference at this point does it make? What difference does it make? What difference at this point does it make? What difference at this point does it make? Difference at this point does it make? Difference at this point? Difference at this point? Difference at this point does it make? Difference at this point? Difference at this point? Difference at this point does it make?
Right, so let's figure out why we're ignoring this whole thing. Anybody know why we're ignoring all this stuff and why we're being kind of dulled down into a state of bliss? It's like, well, I guess it's okay. Donald doesn't have to prosecute Barack Obama. Donald doesn't have to prosecute Hillary. Hey, Dave. Yeah, I don't take your call there, man. I told you. Thank you. God. Chuck Norris punching. That was me. Yeah. What do you know about that? Trump to put many homeless ladies to work by pimping them out? Really? I didn't know Trump was doing that. I heard that, they told me at the NSA. The NSA came in here and they said, David, you've got 3.2 million viewers every night. And then they said, by the way, don't talk about Trump International. That's not affiliated with Donald Trump. Hello? Anybody there? Who's this? Who is this? Oh, oh no, we're not in any way letting haters get to us, Bob. I mean, caller. Oh, thanks, man. I really appreciate that, man. Yeah, I mean, that's the kind of call that makes me, it's a feel-good feeling. I got a call from Bob here. Let me put him on. Hey, Bob's here. He said, don't let the chatters get you down, Dave. That was what his message was.
Keep it real, brother. Have a good night.
You too, man. Bob, keeping it real. How about that? So why are we ignoring Pizzagate and DAPL? Why is that? And you're talking about 1,400 jobs at Carrier, which probably would have stayed if we just had some laws preventing American companies from going overseas with workers. No, all those tax benefits for outsourcing? They never were repealed. Obama never repealed the tax benefits. Now that was BOBB, I think. I don't think that was Bob 2012. It could be. Was it Bob 2012? Bob 2012, are you in? Are you here? Okay, this morning Donald Trump sent a message to America. Let's see. What difference at this point does it make? Well, that's pretty good. So no, the new byline is not "Make America Great." It's "What difference at this point does it make?" Oh, okay. This morning, Donald Trump sent a message that will save our country. Oh, okay. There it is. That's the line. That's all you get to see of the message. He's holding a major news conference in New York with my children on December 15th. He'll be discussing the fact he'll be leaving. Okay, this could even be Donald Trump's. Okay, here. He's trying to tell everybody he's going to be leaving his business to his children. Wow. Okay, so remember I came down hard on the fact that he was going to be doing business out of the White House? Well, he's behaving like a gentleman on this one. He's pulling out and giving it to his kids. I'll be holding, and he's going to be leaving my great business in total in order to fully focus on the running the country in order to make America great again. While I'm not mandated to, well, I think you are, under this law. I feel it's visually important as president to in no way have a conflict of interest in my various businesses. Hence, legal documents are being crafted which take me completely out of business operations. The presidency is a far more important task. Good. Yeah, everybody's saying good. All right. Interesting. Good post. I didn't think that would be a good post, but like I said, folks, I was extremely vocal about this. And you notice how I haven't even gone into the impeach Trump room once tonight? We haven't even touched down on this in deference to Trump. But, you can soft pedal your way through this transition period, and that's not a bad move. He's doing all the right things, making moves. Dave's ego medicine says, Dave, I don't think it was your saying something about it on Bond that caused him to step down from his businesses. I think it was. I'm sorry, Dave's ego medicine. I look like I'm wearing her hair there. Well, heck, I could even look like her. I have similar facial features. Hold on. What difference at this point does it make? What difference at this point does it make? I'm working on her vocal tonalities. What difference at this point? What difference at this point does it make? Okay, I'm getting there. All right. I hear somebody footsteps and there must be somebody at the door. Probably the visitor Sarah was talking about earlier. David Letterman, welcome. Good evening. Trump acting like you and the third party. Yeah, I know. I think he's studying my show. No, Trump is not making all the right decisions. He's just maneuvering rather deftly. I'll give him that much. Unless we prosecute Hillary and Brock, he'll not be able to return to a state of normality for America. We won't be able to do it. There's a lot of technical problems with the prosecution. And without clinging to the idea that you need to prosecute Obama, the only way he's going to repeal Obamacare. As far as I'm concerned, he can take all my ideas. I just want to help the country. And I'm wondering why he hasn't taken this idea. That's awesome. It eliminates welfare completely. You know, I'm just basically thinking of the country. I'm not in this for any other purpose but to come up with good ideas. But processing Hillary Clinton is definitely on a list of things to do. Yeah, I mean, since he ran on that concept, he's going to have to do that. Otherwise, people aren't going to take him seriously. You know? Now, you're accusing me of being a male model in a picture of a billboard saying, "Pork, the one you love"? That's hilarious. I'm not going to talk about my male modeling career at all on this show. I think that's insane. Boy, I've got a real bad lighting issue here. I've got to straighten this out. Hang on. Trump the winner, is everyone else losing? I'm going to say no, because Trump may have just acquired a massive amount of problems. And like I said the other day, it's great in a way because he can run with my ideas now. We can all come together on my ideas as he proceeds to, not implement them. And that's the big question. We're not going to let him ride with all the flip-flopping he's done. We're going to be, his strongest critic, but at the same time, we must show deference to the president-elect and at least treat the job with a certain amount of respect. I don't know. During the end of the election, the past year, I've been talking about a 24/7 chat room. Toward the end of the election, he started talking about a 24/7 chat room out of the White House. The fence idea was mine. All the ideas that he took. And like apparently the person who came in the chat claiming to be him tonight said, he talked to his attorney and his attorney said, "Are these ideas patented?" And he said, "No, that's right, they aren't patented, but that doesn't make them open to stealing in the entirety for a political campaign." And that would be a definite intellectual property right breach. But again, we're talking about, semantics. We're not talking about semantics when we talk about Pizzagate and DAPL. there's a lot of problems with Pizzagate. That all the WikiLeaks stories that popped up about Podesta are not going away, and every one of them reveals an even more sinister, disturbing background of the whole situation. Evidence of child endangerment, possible abductions, all related. I mean, this is one video that came out through GT or SGT, the SGT network. That's just so unbelievable. Check this out.
Hey guys, Sean here from SGT Report. I'm not even sure how to introduce this video. It's clear now if this message allegedly posted on Comet Ping Pong's message board is legitimate and accurate. This is the most disturbing thing you'll ever see, and it proves that Pizzagate has now reached eyes wide shut levels of Satanism. I'm going to play this report. This was posted by Joe Biggs on his Twitter account today. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hey, this is Joe Biggs. I know some of you probably seen this, a lot of you probably haven't, but this is from Comet Ping Pong. It says, last month satisfied customers were raving about our pizza, and we all know you will too. Repeat customers know the drill. For newcomers, see how they spell that? First run the program given to you by your special friend. All instructions on how to enjoy this joyous hobby will be easily understandable. But please remember penalties for breaking the rules, which are also included in the program. Very few have broken the rules, and needless to say, the penalties are harsh. All pricing is included in the app. The app will only run on, and the following requirements must be met. And this is where it's really creepy. This month we have 5 fresh pizzas for your enjoyment. We also have 4 surviving pizzas. What does that mean, surviving pizzas? From last month's session. All are on sale at an extremely low price as they are in poor health and not expected to survive. A requirement is that you finish eating your pizza after your session.
Okay, did you get that? Basically, pizzas being children in the child molestation ring of Pizzagate. He was reading something that was in code on an Instagram. It's absolutely unbelievable. You just heard people talking about trafficking in children, and 4 of them were nearly dead. This should shock any one of you if you open your minds to what's going on. Yeah, I'd like to see more jobs. Let's see them. Yeah, jobs, jobs, jobs. Trump and Farage. Yeah, what's that about? If invited, would you attend a secret camp at the Bohemian Grove? No, I'm sorry, I will not enjoy any time with you at the Bohemian Grove. David, when did you have plastic surgery? I didn't. Should I? David Breitbart. Did you hear that Andrew Breitbart may have info on Pizzagate and he was murdered? Yes. And Beekman, did I tell you that the story got even weirder? Earlier we were talking about Breitbart, and we showed you their feed. That's, you know, Breitbart's been run by this new Steve Bannon, the guy who's supposedly Donald's right-hand man. Well, yeah, you just got here. Hey, Beekman. This story right here, and I'll give you the link to it, all of you, is completely against Pizzagate. It's claiming everything's fake news. Coming out of Breitbart. Check that out. It's a cover-up. You know, and in a way, yeah, we could talk about DAPL because you could say everything on the internet is a cover-up to avoid talking about the Dakota Access Pipeline dispute. But, I mean, that article indicates that Breitbart, the website, looks like a completely new crew of people, not the people that Andrew Breitbart were onto. So, if Breitbart was onto a pedophile ring, and we've seen from the video recently that Breitbart made, we actually had a reveal. Yeah, I don't have that on me right now. But Breitbart really did name Podesta. Yeah, he actually called him out. Let's see if I can pull that one up too. Yeah, check this out. This is interesting. This is Andrew Breitbart talking about Podesta directly before he died. And he died many years ago now.
This is a concerted effort. This is a concerted effort. Politics of personal destruction. Fuck you, John Podesta.
All right, well, you see where I'm coming from.
Okay. Yeah.
When I talk, that's because I'm interested in this ongoing, whatever the hell they're doing.
What's in your closet, John Podesta? Big Podesta? Big Soros? Do you want us to play these games? Because we're playing to win.
So maybe he rubbed the wrong people, these pedophiles, the wrong way. Yeah. Now, this just came in from Azera. Thank you for Azera checking into that information stream on California legalized child prostitution. Now kids can now be sex workers. Yeah, here we go. I mean, every day I feel like I'm going to have a jaw lift because my jaw keeps dropping at all this weird stuff going on here. It's weird. Just gets weirder and weirder. Okay, he claims that it's meant to make life... Governor Moonbeam, Jerry Brown, has just decriminalized prostitution for minors in California. He claims that it's meant to make life after human trafficking easier for those forced into it. But who says that the consequences of this move won't make pedophilia more acceptable? Our government officials have forgotten that their actions will cause dire consequences for others. Or maybe they do know that, and they just don't care. This is absolutely astounding. The liberal numbnuts who run the state of California just decriminalized child prostitution. There's no misinterpretation of what they've done here. It's no longer illegal for anyone under the age of 18 to engage in prostitution or solicit money for sex. Like I said, kids in California are now able to legally work as prostitutes. CBS Sacramento reports the Space Cadet Governor Jerry Brown signed SB 1322 into law on Tuesday. Among other things, this bill exempts minors from the current California prostitution laws. In other words, a person under the age of 18 can no longer be arrested for violating prostitution laws that apply to adults. I mean, this is just reiterating itself. Wow. I mean, it just gets weirder and weirder out there in elitist land, doesn't it? Somebody coming in calling me out saying, would you go to the Bohemian Grove? Of course not. I'm not some secret society guy. I'm not buyable. Here's the link to 3%er Nation. Okay. How come the link doesn't appear? You can try that again, Azera. It's called Orgy Island, called St. James. Guest 532. The Orgy Island is connected to Jeffrey Epstein, a friend of Donald Trump's. David, so when will you be moving to California? I don't want to. I left California. I lived in California for 35 years. It's not the California I lived in anymore. There are fake signs. Fake. No, that's the 893. That's no. I really think you're right, though. ABC News is fake. So, yeah, you're right there. The fake news is the mainstream media. That's right. Excuse me, I haven't gotten done. Did you see me take this off the screen? I'm not like Obama. And I'm not like Trump either. I'm not about to forget we need to prosecute Obama. I'm sorry, but you can't make a deal with the devil and expect to not worship two separate entities. That's right. I have never shown any child porn on this show. Never. We ran a show with Pizzagate, a reveal of all of the stuff that you guys, and all of it was completely redacted. There was no evidence of any child pornography on that show. Nope. Never happened. What you guys are trying to do is trying to trivialize the Pizzagate shows that we showed already. a 1.5 hour movie that was very in-depth and on all the allusions to child pornography that's going on in the Podesta families. Obviously, he and his brother, they have artwork. All of that was shown. If you call that porn, that was in the movie. That was artwork in his home. We're only revealing to you what Podesta and his brother are up to. Yep. David has said that they will not charge underage girls for prostitution, but it still charges the men who hire them. Yeah, that's right, Alien Sky. That's a Jerry Brown original. Obamacare, RIP, Republicans finally have a plan. Wow. Look at that. 2 days after the election, Trump met with the outgoing Obama, still planning the transition. Affordable Care Act. He adamantly insisted that the act had to be repealed on day one of his administration, but after an afternoon with Obama, Trump appeared to back down a little bit from the campaign promise. He says, I told him I will look at his suggestions, and out of respect, I will do that, Trump said of the discussion the two had about the future of the Affordable Care Act. Either Obamacare will be amended, he said, or repealed and replaced. Conservatives began to fret that Trump had settled for tweaking the ACA around the edges, particularly when he talked about keeping a few of the more popular components of the program. Yeah, well, it's the failure of the of Obamacare that led to this switch in the electorate's choices.
While the Affordable Care Act has increased access to health care for millions of uninsured Americans, the program is bleeding red ink and losing customers. The core of the problem is that the vast number of young millennials who were supposed to sign up for a low-cost silver plan didn't. If they were lucky enough to get a taxpayer subsidy, they might pay as little as $241 a year in premiums. Or, if they were earning somewhere around $24,000, they would pay premiums totaling $1,523. If they did neither, they would have to pay a penalty of $695. The math is pretty simple. Without a subsidy, a millennial would save $828 by paying the fine. Even if they did buy Obamacare insurance, they probably wouldn't be able to use it. The annual deductible for an individual with a silver plan averages $3,177. The fine is also negotiable. Last year, 12.5 million taxpayers were exempted from the mandate for a variety of reasons, including low income and experiencing various hardships such as bankruptcy. Meanwhile, consumers 55 and older who typically have the highest healthcare costs comprised more than a quarter of all enrollees, even though they make up just 16% of the eligible population. Lower enrollment, especially among young, healthy consumers, is one of the factors driving the increase in exchange premiums, which are rising 25% on average this year.
So you think their rising premiums is going to increase enrollment? That's so funny. All right. Thank you very much. Trump got this. Watch him work, bitches. Okay, all right. Well, Trump has not in any way embraced a public option, which would eliminate private operations leeching off of the funding that goes into healthcare. Why wouldn't Trump endorse a public option, you might say? Well, because it doesn't involve big money making more money. That's the problem, and that's the inherent flaw of the Trump campaign. It's all about money. That's why he hasn't in any way given you $400 per month per U.S. adult. Never said anything like that. And it's why he hasn't in any way worked on a housing alternative like our homestead renewal plan, which gets the government involved in fixing up houses because he wants cronies involved in fixing up houses and making money and flipping money. Big, big difference. This is a bombshell. The UN has ordered the immediate release of Julian Assange. This is good because if he really is alive, we need to see him. Because many people around the world now believe that he may be dead. Yeah, serious. The United Nations has dealt a bitter blow to the UK government, ordering them to immediately release Julian Assange from his illegal detention. It's all about UK and Sweden will be forced to free the WikiLeaks founder with immediate effect. Well, we'll see if it takes a big control over the issue. I think the Interpol needs to get in there and figure out if he's alive first. Okay, how Trump's calls to world leaders are upsetting decades of diplomacy. Oh, that looks good. Well, his talks to the president of Taiwan becoming the first U.S. president or president-elect to do so since 1979. We've been not talking with the president of Taiwan because of relations with China, not wanting to destabilize relations with China. It risks infuriating China. Trump invites Rodrigo Duterte, president of the Philippines, to visit Washington. I didn't even realize this. I'm extremely concerned that this man is killing innocent people who he claims are drug dealers. He's having them assassinated. Mr. Duterte has been accused of gross human rights abuses. He referred to Obama as a son of a bitch and declared his country's separation from the U.S. during a recent trip to Beijing. He wants to separate from our country, and Trump wants to invite him to the U.S. I would never invite him to the U.S. Mr. Trump praises Kazakhstan's leader for fantastic success. Mr. Trump praised Nursultan A. Nazarbayev, the president of Kazakhstan, since 1991, in tones that suggest approval for Mr. Nazarbayev's strongman rule. Not. According to the Kazakh government readout of the call, Mr. Trump stressed that under the leadership of Nursultan Nazarbayev, our country over the years of independence have achieved fantastic success that can be called a miracle. Yeah. Trump accepts an invitation to visit Pakistan, a terrific country. That's not what he was saying about, was it Brussels? He was ragging on Brussels a couple years ago. This is unbelievable. Pakistan, Mr. Trump is going to visit the Pakistan, the government readout of their call. Should Mr. Trump follow through, he risks alienating India, which can send a huge rift in the Pakistan-India détente process. And Ivanka Trump joins a meeting with the Japanese Prime Minister. Rather than inviting State Department officials to staff his meeting with Shinzo Abe, Japan's Prime Minister, Mr. Trump, invited his daughter Ivanka. The meeting alarmed diplomats who worried that Mr. Trump had lacked preparation after a long record of criticizing Japan. It also blurred the line between Mr. Trump's business, which Ms. Trump helps run, and the U.S. government, which has no role. Yeah, that does kind of cloud it when Ivanka goes meets with foreign dignitaries. Good point. And after brushing off the United Kingdom, Mr. Trump offers a casual invitation to the British Prime Minister. Mr. Trump spoke to 9 other leaders before British Prime Minister Theresa May, an unusual break with the two countries' long-standing special relationship. If you travel to the U.S., you should let me know, he told her, far short of a formal invitation. Trump also met with Nigel Farage, a former leader of the fringe UK Independence Party, a slap to Ms. May. He later said that Mr. Farage should become the British ambassador to the United States, though presidents typically avoid telling foreign counterparts how to staff their governments. Mr. Trump is stepping on feet all around the world, folks. He is bumbling along. I am not a racist. I've never said a racial slur in my life. I use voices that imitate people, but that's not racism. Trump saved 1,400 jobs for 1,400 families with the carrier deals. That's right, buddy. And you're going to be paying a lot more for your carrier air conditioner unit for that simple reason. Yeah. You're going to be changing that filter double time. Yeah. Can't stop because we won't stop. We'll have to play that song now. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for participating in this nonstop, endless dialogue about politics. Farage is garbage. I didn't like the way Farage kind of nested in Trump's camp. It was weird. I'm sorry, but you cannot possibly charge me with racism simply for doing a blackface video, sir. I will sue you back in court, and we will go to the ACLU together, holding hands and singing, Kumbaya, my lord, Kumbaya. Oh, Lord, Kumbaya. Whatever. Yeah, you don't have a chance in hell of getting me for racist slurs in this room. I've been very careful. You know, I've never said the N-word, unlike Barack Obama, who said it on a podcast. I have never criticized people of different races. I've always shown deference to people. And you notice I'm not limiting the $400 per month per U.S. adult to anybody but Americans. White, black, Hispanic, Asian. Seriously. Oh, thank you. You've seen some of my work. Excellent. The German accent will offend quite a few people. Yeah, I have been told that my German accent is quite good, actually. It is amazing. Yeah, it is amazing how good my accent is. It is from Upper Germany, near Frankfurt. Yeah, I bet your vet facility is located in Tamau. You can go there right now. 1,400 jobs is a drop in the bucket, buddy. Yeah, he promised 24 million, so he's got 23,998,000 to go. The German language is hilarious. Yeah, it is ach de Liebe. That's why Yiddish is so funny, because it is a complete, takeoff on German and Hebrew. It's a funny language. Jawohl, Herr Kommandant. I'm going to get there. Can't stop because we won't stop. We have to play the sound of that song. Hold on. My head looks like a wrinkly beep, beep, beep tonight. Really? Well, I'm sorry you feel that way. I'm sorry I didn't meet your hair approval tonight. Yes, here we go. Let's do it, everybody. 1, 2, 3.
We can't stop and we won't stop. We're gonna dance all night, bring it on to the sunlight. We can't stop, we can't stop. We can't stop, we can't stop. We can't stop and we won't stop. We're gonna dance all night, bring it on to the sunlight. We can't stop, we can't stop, we can't stop.
So let's be clear. In this coming election year, please vote for David Sponheim. America's Third Party.
Sponheim for president.
We can't stop, we can't stop, we can't stop, we can't stop and we won't stop. We're gonna dance all night, bring it on to the sunlight. Can't stop, can't stop, can't stop, can't stop and we won't stop. We're gonna dance all night, bring it on to the sunlight. Can't stop, can't stop, can't stop, can't stop.
First we hit 'em low, then we hit 'em high. Underrated, but we made it to the finish line. Rhymes designed to combine and intertwine. Spring to the summer, fall, even winter time. Beats banging harder, then head-on collisions. We make incisions with precision and quick decisions. Causing double visions if you ain't up to speed. You need to speed it up, partner. Piano lead.
We can't stop and we won't stop. We're gonna dance all night, bring it on to the sunlight. Can't stop, can't stop, we can't stop, can't stop, we can't stop and we won't stop. We're gonna dance all night, bring it on to the sunlight. Can't stop, can't stop, can't stop, can't stop, we can't stop and we won't stop. We're gonna dance all night, bring it on to the sunlight. Can't stop, we can't stop, we can't stop, we can't stop, we can't stop and we won't stop.
In this coming election year, please vote for David Sponheim. America's Third Party.
Can't stop, can't stop, can't stop and we won't stop. We're gonna dance all night, bring it on to the sunlight. Can't stop, can't stop, can't stop, can't stop.
Okay, welcome to the Freedom Friday show, everybody. We're in the final hour, approaching the final hour of our show. We're going to still take in all kinds of new input from all of you on the chat board. Okay, we've got a question. David, do you like Jewish people? Yes, I do. Yes, I like Jewish people. I've always met good Jewish people in my life. I've never met anybody that was a bad person. So yes, I like Jewish people. Am I a Zionist? No. Am I like Trump? Would I take money from AIPAC? Hell no. Sorry. It's just not what I do. That's right. 2080, that's right. I actually have a wig for when I, get to be about 80 years old and I'm running for president. I think I could wear it at any time. So I almost think that I've got the ability to run for at least another 50 years. Check it out. It looks like Surfer Dave. Some people say, Dave, it takes years off of your age. They would never guess you're 85. If you were 85. Hi. I'm Dave. What's going on, guys? I am not a racist, sir. I love black people and I love Hispanic people. I'm not that. No, I'm not. Yeah, hi. How's it going, guys? Do I look like a 14-year-old? No, I don't want to look that young, but... No, I would never kill people based on their ethnic background. David, Reddit has given you Caster of the Year award. Are you serious? I am so honored. Thank you so much. Let me move the Prosecute Obama section slightly down. That is wonderful. Wow. Does the award come with any accolades? Like, I look like Ron Howard. That's pretty funny. Cool. I swear, congratulations. I can't get over it. I'll have to tell Sarah. I'm amazed.
The way I read Genesis, Cain was marked. Therefore, I believe in white supremacy. I believe in white. I believe in white supremacy.
I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up.
You voted against the Civil Rights Act in 1964. Would you do so today?
I would have to vote against it.
In 1964, during the presidential election of that year, I was a Goldwater girl. I mean, really, we used to wear, little banners which said Goldwater girl.
Then they'd have to talk about the Clintons' past. The same Confederate flag Bree Newsom took down from above the South Carolina State House
the relationship
represents
between
the
Germany
exact
and the United
same
States is
slave-owning
bigger
and traitorous
than
Confederacy for
the
which
United
Bill
States
Clinton
spying on
signed a
Germany.
resolution
People
stating
can
that
agree
the
to
highest star on the Arkansas flag represented. To this day, they still have an official Confederate Flag Day. And not only did Bill and Hillary never say anything about this, but for 12 years, they celebrated the Confederacy too.
Today, our country has lost a true American original, my friend and mentor, Robert C. Byrd. Senator Byrd was a man of surpassing eloquence and nobility, and I will remember him for many things. It is almost impossible to imagine the United States Senate without Robert Byrd. He was not just its longest serving member, he was its heart, its soul, and its historian.
Not just gangs of kids anymore. They are often the kinds of kids that are called super predators. No conscience, no empathy. We can talk about why they ended up that way, but first we have to bring them to heel. First we have...
Okay, so we are going to go break into a discussion about the prosecution of the Clintons, and that's our next point of reference. Some of you are wondering, should we prosecute the Clintons? Let me stop the flag. Stop that flag. There we go. Many of you are of the belief that the Clintons should be jailed. Many of you believe that Hillary is up to no good, Podesta especially. I say prosecute Podesta and see where it leads us. Yeah, because we're going to have to do a lot better than what Trey Gowdy did with Hillary. If we're going to connect her in any way to these emails. Man, you're so hot. Dave, you look like a tranny. Oh, really? Cool. I mean, not cool. I don't want to be a tranny. But is being a tranny bad? Are you saying that trannies are bad people? Now you're calling me an asshole. That's really derogatory. Are trannies bad people? Yes, being a tranny is bad. Bad tranny. Bad tranny. So you just want to like discriminate against trannies? You don't care about Caitlyn Jenner's sexual desires for... I don't either. You're mentally ill? Oh, I'm so sorry for you. Seek help. Ask a professional. You want to send trannies to the FEMA camps. Folks, we have a lot of people here who don't realize that Trump is pretty soft on the idea of LGBT. Yeah, he's not too harsh on LGBT. It's not likely he's going to send trannies to FEMA camps. More likely you. Yes, something is wrong with pedophilia. We're not talking about innocent children here. We're talking about adults that decide to just, remove their body parts. Look, my point is, I don't think the government should be funding transgender operations at the military. Trump hasn't made any statement, yay or nay, on that one. You haven't gotten him to commit on that. You're soft on trannies? Yeah, most trannies are too. Oh, come on with your Stockholm crap. Sarah and I are a very happy couple. Yeah, you got nothing on that, man. A trove of WikiLeaks documents revealing the true scale of cooperation between the German and U.S. spy agency, risking derailing Angela Merkel's hope of, dominating the EU. Yes, I heard about this. This, up just a few minutes ago, came just into our chat room. We're looking at a situation here. A trove of WikiLeaks documents revealing the true scale of cooperation between the German and the U.S. spy agencies, risk derailing Angela Merkel's hopes of dominating the EU. If I say this 14 times in a row, it might make a magic, charm and abracadabra. A 90 gigabyte cache containing 2,500 top secret documents now made public by the whistleblowing website, WikiLeaks, sheds light on the murky relationship between Germany's Bundesnachrichtendienst, the BND, and the America's National Security Agency. Among them are administrative documents, correspondence. NSA and the BND are in deep contact. And the ACLU and CIA probably know more about the IRS and the NCAA. The leaked files were submitted to a German parliament to inquire into the surveillance of activities of the BND Foreign Intelligence Agency and its U.S. counterpart. So this could be bad for Angela. Does anybody want to see the Angela Merkel dance video now? Do you have a kind of a feeling? You've got that special feeling. David, is it possible you could remove the wig? It's scaring me. Oh. Okay. Yeah. I don't have a boyish haircut. Why is it all I get is people saying, oh, your hair sucks. Your hair sucks. When I'm wearing this wig, and you're enjoying the wig, yeah. And then all of a sudden, oh, yeah, could you remove the wig, Dave, so we could come make fun of your hair? Dude, get out of here with that pedo stuff. Yeah, when is the last time anyone's seen Assange around? Thank you. I understand from the metrics, the optics are showing me that South Korea loves the wig too. Thinking of multiple sales across the globe of this wig. I wanted to get a reddish brown wig. You want me to look just like the guy from CSI Miami, David Caruso. David, why pander to the people at all? You're not vain. You don't care about your hair, right? You're right. You're absolutely right. That's why I'm going to wear this wig. Thank you so much. Dave's ego medicine. You're awesome. Okay, so we got liberal numbnuts like Jerry Brown making it legal for kids to have sex, prostitution. It's just unbelievable. I mean, and then they want to turn bathrooms across the nation into tranny bathrooms. I mean, we got to stop all that catering to LGBT whims and just focus on stopping discrimination. If you or your family member is a business owner and wants to discriminate against a tranny, you can't. But if the government discriminates against a tranny, that's a problem. So if you got a tranny walking into your restaurant, your mom and pop restaurant, you're going, well, honey, we serve hot cakes and burgers for lunch. I don't think this tranny is going to fit as our waitress. Well, you're right, honey. She is gonna drive a lot of business away. So everyone has the right to say no. If you don't want that, hey, dude, thanks a lot, man. Totally. A lot of people are saying, Dave, are you like a surfer? It looks ridiculous. I'm going, no, dude, but, I grew up as a surfer, I haven't been surfing since Fukushima. It's like totally radioactive, But there are like a lot of surfers that like totally get into it. Like this dude that, talked about how surfing was cool.
Oh, bro, it's just like, dude, you get the best barrels ever, dude. Just like you pull in and you just get spit right out of them. And you just drop in and just smack the lip. Whoop, drop down, snap, and then after that.
But the park is still flooded, so you'll see kids out there again.
Some of those kids today will be my co-hosts.
It's just like, dude, you got the best barrels ever, dude. Just like you pull in, and you just get spit right out of them. Spit right out of them. You just drop in, just smack the lip. And then after that, you just drop in, drop down, snap, drop down, snap, right at the barrel and get paid. Right at the barrel and get right at the barrel and get paid. So hit it. Right at the barrel and get paid. Right at the barrel and get right at the barrel and get paid. So hit it. Yeah, you got the best barrels ever, dude. Just like you pull in, and you just get spit right out of them. Spit right out of them. You just drop in, just smack the lip, and then after that, you just drop in, drop down, snap, drop down, drop down. Right at the barrel and get paid. Right at the barrel and get right at the barrel and get paid. So hit it, hit it, hit it.
Oh, this is beautiful.
Right at the barrel and get paid.
Just check out the beauty of this. Yeah, just the whole idea of surfing in a beautiful ocean. And here we are desecrating the ocean with Fukushima spilling out radiated water, 6 swimming pools a day, pouring into the ocean, and nobody in government is even talking about it. Trump won't talk about it. Trump doesn't want to prosecute Podesta. He won't even talk about it. So Trump is showing that you can be on Twitter, but you can also, not respond to the American people. Yeah, I totally surfed when I was like younger, dude. Yeah, totally. Yeah, I grew up in like Huntington Beach, man, and like a lot of really cool waves there, But now you just you're like looking at the inner city there, the radiation, and it's just not really the way it was, when I grew up in the 60s, Do you think Trump is laying low till he's president? Not really, not with that big burst the other day about the flags and how important flags were to, they're going to take the citizenship way of. Yeah, let's start with Podesta on the prosecution. They're to take away the citizenship of people. I mean, I was wondering, well, if you take away somebody's citizenship, if they burn a flag, which is clearly, an act of freedom of speech, what would Trump give him as citizenship? I mean, it was illogical. What would the person be, a non-citizen after that? It's just think through these things, Donald. Come on. Get the brain engaged before the mouth starts ripping out with diarrhea. Okay, I'm going to be a little nicer to Donald tonight. Prosecute Podesta, prosecute Obama, make it happen. We got to go after this guy who's allegedly got these emails. If they are code word for secret child pornography, we need to know. The American people are not going to sit back and just ignore this. You can't just ignore anything on the internet. You really can't. It's weird, but you're going to have to get real here. David, you should get a Nigel Farage wig. He doesn't have much hair, man. Trump was nice enough to make an appearance tonight. I appreciated that. He wanted to clarify that I'm not suing him, as long as he's not suing me. Trump wants to be a capital crime. Yeah, I just think it's ridiculous. It's going to cross direction with the response from the Supreme Court ruling. The Supreme Court already ruled emphatically that flag burning is protected by the First Amendment. A president can't go against the Supreme Court ruling. It's like a president saying, I'm going to make Citizens United illegal. It means nothing. Trump could say it's illegal to burn a flag, but nobody's going to in any way follow through with enforcing an executive order. Dave Trump loves you. Really? Are you? You are. You're not flip-flopping. No, I'm not. Excuse me, Grumpy. We meant flag burning, not fag burning. That's sick. Dave, be the bigger dude and smoke a DB with Trumpster. You know, like Trump doesn't smoke marijuana, dude. Yeah, he totally doesn't, you know. That's what he says, dude. So he's like not going to legalize marijuana, you know. But I've thrown a few good ideas out here, like I will veto any bill that's over 100 pages. Only because people can't read bills that are under 100 or that are over 100 pages. They just can't. They just can't. People can't read much anymore. And if a bill's over 100 pages, the statement you were looking for, Dave, looks awesome. Thank you. So if you have any other questions, feel free to ask right away, and I will respond in real time. Let's hook up Dave's question and answer hour. Hi. It's the gay Andy Warhol. Beep. Wrong. Wrong. This is not Andy Warhol. You are incorrect. Yeah. He does look like Andy Warhol. You know, you guys got me all mixed up. You can't possibly say. I look more like Skipper from the Gilligan's Island. Oh, sit right down in the day of the time. Yeah, that's Skipper from Gilligan's Island. Isn't that was a rare candid picture of him looking at Mary Ann's beep ass. Oh, I'm sorry, the censors did not get that.
Just sit right back and you'll hear a tale of a fateful trip that started from this tropic port aboard this tiny ship. The mate was a mighty sailor and the skipper brave and sure. 5 passengers set sail that day for a 3-hour tour. A 3-hour tour. When they started getting rough, the tiny ship was tossed. If not for the courage of the fearless crew, the minnow would be lost. The minnow would be lost. The ship's aground on the shore of this uncharted desert isle was Gilligan, the skipper too, the millionaire and his wife, the movie star, the professor and Mary Ann, here on Gilligan's Island.
That was great. Yeah, thank you. A little retro moment for Dave. I will veto all bills over 100 pages. And people are going, holy moly, do I have any bills that are over 100 pages? Let me see. Nope, I don't have any bills that are over 100 pages. So how about that Trump, making a real strong point about supporting the flag? You got to like that. In general, thank you. In general, you overall feeling here is that maybe he really is trying to help. So you bought the whole Trump mystique. You guys are in on the deal. Okay. Well, let's see what happens, Look, I'm not an un-American person. I'm a person who stands behind the idea of getting behind a country that's going to get better, right? So yeah, let's just look forward to the possibility that he's not going to behave like a Nazi, and he's not going to sell our country short to Russia. And he's not going to in any way violate our personal freedoms and independence and rights. I'm trying to adjust to the idea now that he made an appearance in our show. I really appreciate that. I'm sorry I became president, but you tried for years and got less votes. Jill said, read more. Now, that's not the real Donald Trump. That's a fake one. Yeah. Dave, buy a wig with waves. Your own hair is wavy curly. Yeah, I don't want to buy any more wigs. That's the thing, Do you have any idea how weird it is to buy a wig? Yeah, it's just kind of weird. I don't really need a wig. I've got my own hair. Dave, is the U.S. dollar still printed using green and black tone printer? I wouldn't know. I'm not a counterfeiter. I mean, what the hell? Anybody who's into that is going to get caught wide awake. Do you realize that if you take a copying machine, store-bought, or even one that you think is not being looked at, and try to duplicate a dollar bill, that goes right to the NSA and to the Treasury Department? Yeah, you don't even mess with that. There's a lot of effort to try to stop counterfeiting in this country. Well, you can dream of all the things you want in life. I happen to achieve everything I set out to get in my life. I wanted, 8 years ago, I wanted mainstream media attention. I got it. Albeit worst attention I could ever got. I got called a bizarre fringe candidate by Rolling Stones. Can you imagine calling me a bizarre fringe candidate? I don't get that. And then I set out to say to myself, well, David, when Sarah and I faced a real trial around 600 shows. We're up to around 3,000 shows now. Around 600, we were really having a problem because it was just hard to get up and do the show because we were sharing it. And I said, Sarah, I'm going to take the lead here and show you that doing this show 4 or 5 hours a day for 8 years or longer will bring me millions of viewers. And I was right. And I'm really, really thankful that you guys like to see the show. Getting this incredible award from Reddit is just, it's almost the icing on an important effort to break through the censorship in a mainstream media censored country like ours. So it's huge. It's a huge thing. And it's not about money, it's about getting the word out. Yeah, and it's kind of like built Field of Dreams with Kevin Costner, where the guy built his field and people just came to play baseball. Yeah, you didn't hear Reddit. It said I'm the caster of the year. Isn't that great? I met Dennis Quaid. He looked at me straight in my eyes, and I looked right at him. And I didn't say anything. I just looked right at him and was like, you're Dennis Quaid. And I'm not. Yeah, I'm just blown away. I don't even track Reddit. But Reddit's been running stories about me that I'm a robot. Can you imagine making a statement like that? What would ever give them the belief that I am a robot? We're not going to stop. No, it's going to keep going because we have accountability issues with Trump. He needs to prosecute Podesta. I'm sorry he's chosen not to prosecute Obama. I think he's going to need to do that to repeal Obamacare. If he wants to put anything sensible in its place, we're absolutely going to need him to repeal Obamacare. And, remember he and Pence were telling people about how they were going to repeal it, and then right after the election they couldn't. Well, the only way to repeal Obamacare is to prosecute Obama as a fraud. The problem that Trump is dealing with is he's taking advice from Kissinger. Yeah, he's got all kinds of unnecessary people pulling his strings. Kissinger loves Barack Obama. He would never ever want any mark on the legacy that they think that they put in place, with Obama just saying whatever the New World Order wanted to say and passing executive order after executive order, whittling away at our freedoms and independence in this country. It's very troubling. Yeah. Nothing. Kissinger sucks. Kissinger has been the architect of the Council on Foreign Relations, and now Trump has chosen to put one of his key guys in a position of importance, which implies that, yeah, we heard the UN ordered the release of Julian Assange. Thank you. This is it? Thank you so much. Yeah. That's an excellent, thank you. It's an accolade. Appreciate it. Just don't post it here. I could give a crap about Reddit. They're already compromised. The CEO of Reddit and the CEO of Twitter are both obvious sold-out individuals willing to suppress the Pizzagate story. A very indicting statement about our country and what could very well be the biggest breakthrough in a child pedophilia ring in Washington, D.C. that spans 2 decades of reveals. The government's been systematically trying to suppress it. And it's only through the mention of Pizzagate that we come into the show and talk about it. Yeah, so we want to stop Pizzagate from happening. It's important. Trump doesn't seem to care about it. He hasn't twittered one thing about it. And I don't think if he twittered about Pizzagate, they'd pull Pizzagate off of there. So allowing for suppression of censorship of words like Pizzagate is insane. They'll have Pedogate next. And then Pedogate will be taken down. I mean, it's a slippery slope. When does it end? God. Well, I will veto all bills over 100 pages as a way of stopping this waste of funding and money. Look at the immigration bill the Democrats put out, Republicans put out, over 1,290 pages, filled with all kinds of pork barrel spending. Same with the Affordable Health Care Act. It is a massive mega T-bill that is a huge pork barrel wonderland for healthcare companies. The big problem with healthcare is the rise of the cost of healthcare and the indiscriminate price gouging by various providers. No, Kissinger is not the one to tell Trump anything other than stay the course of Barack Obama. You know, stay in Afghanistan. Keep pressure on Syria by supporting rebel troops. So Trump will pull the party line, and that's what the New World Order wants. They want to maintain a presence there in Syria, waiting out the death of Vladimir Putin. It's just a matter of time in the minds of the New World Order that they're going to see a change, regime change in Russia, and that's when they're going to strike. No, I don't have any bags. I just, I did lose a little sleep last night. It was like 4 to 5 hours sleep. No, Trump won't make Obamacare null and void. He won't do anything. He won't prosecute Obama. He won't prosecute Podesta. He won't even mention the word Pizzagate on his Twitters. So he's basically of no value. I just muted you. We have that in common. Thank you. Trump is basically just a puppet, a placeholder. He may want to do something really good, and I'm sure watching our show has helped him, get a few pointers. But I don't think he's the bad man you think he is. I think he's worse. I think he's the little kid in the Twilight Zone. Remember the little kid who said, "I'm going to send you to the cornfields if you don't agree with me"? Yeah. So he's trying to, keep people from communicating and talking about the issues. He's not going to be able to do that. He's like a bully. Darren McAllister, a YouTube chat, hangs with Gracie McAllister. And how is that relevant? I'm muting you now after saying you muted me. I'm that slow. He's a many slender thing. Oh, he's a many slender thing. That's not what he said. What did he say, Beekman? Yeah, clarify me. Who's Darren McAllister, and why do I care? Let me take a look. You look beautiful, David. I love you. Oh, that's so nice. This could be like Barney. I am you, we are ye, we're one happy family. Ho, ho, ho. Hi, everybody. No, yeah, confusing the Kissinger and his plan to eliminate the population and the carrier work relationship that the Trump has restored the jobs to. You're a bad man. You're a very bad man. That's right. I'm going to wish you into the cornfields. RuPaul, the famous transgender. Wow. Okay, now why is Darren McAllister so important? His life is unraveled as the housing crisis revealed inflated figures. What? No. I don't even know who Darren McAllister is, man. Yeah, help me out here. You're a very bad man. And why is Grace McAllister in the news? Let me check. I'm normally quite on top of these things. Excuse me? Excuse me? People are laughing with me. They all know that I'm very bright and I make funny jokes and it keeps things moving. I'm kind of like the X-Lax to political constipation. Again, I'm not pulling up a Grace McAllister, who is Garrett's mother on Doris on Hawaii Five-0. That's the last that's the last person we know is, yeah, this is her. That's the woman from Hawaii Five-0 fame. Is this some sort of an elaborate diversion tactic? Are you trying to change the dimension of our show? That's right, everybody. There she is. Doris. Well, my wig is available online. It was $19. All right, thank you. Well, you guys have a lot of things going on in your mind. The question is, are you going to do masturbation now, or are you going to do it later tonight? I mean, that's the big question in your mind. I mean, this seems like idiocracy all over again. I just really feel that we're being dumbed down with God knows what. I mean, chemicals in our water system. I'm detecting a lot of BS here in the show. Yeah. China flight tests 10 DF-21 missiles. These intermediate-range ballistic missiles were carried out in China. They can destroy U.S., Asian, Pacific bases at any time. This is an official dispatch from the Xinhua News Agency. The flight tests were disclosed by China Central Television on November 28th, coincidentally with President-elect Donald Trump's high-profile announcements of his new government officials. Discovery of the missile salvo launch comes as Trump's announced on Thursday that he will nominate retired Marine Corps James Mattis as his Secretary of Defense. Mattis is one of the Corps' most celebrated warfighting generals. All right, well, I don't know. We're going to talk about politics, or are you just going to talk about your next sex act with yourself? The cost of printer cartridges, I'm out of cyan, costed... Well, Beekman, you can get yourself an older printer, like an Epson, but you've got to go into an older computer to make it work. It's really tricky. Yeah. I should play Idiocracy one night, yeah. Thanks, Rex. Yeah, you got to get a system running on Windows XP. You've got to get an Epson 500 or Epson 600, and you get a refill cartridge. That's how you do it. Otherwise, go buy a $19 printer like we did at Walmart. It was a printer scanner for $19 at the Black Friday sale. And their cartridges are $16 for the black and $17 for the color. So that's the way to go. Walmart's having a sale before Christmas. Go out and get one. Trump speaks with Taiwan's president, risking China's tensions. Correct. And this type of behavior, like I said earlier, we touched on this, is exactly why a man who's unfamiliar with government, unfamiliar with diplomacy, could become a problem. Now, I'm in a similar situation. I'd be a little bit more hesitant to press on China's good intentions, especially when reaching out and trying to solve problems of such importance as global climate change or a solution to our trade balance problem. We have a big trade imbalance problem. And we all know that Trump is committed. He's committed to a lot of statements about China. It's not like he doesn't care about China. His effort in the election was to discuss it at length. I mean, trying to discuss it to the point of ad nauseum.
Let's say China.
China, 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 China. You go over to China, 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 China. You take China.
China.
China. I love them. China, 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 China. I have to have my China. China, China, because China, 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 China. China, 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 China now, China, China. You know, China.
I know China very well. China, 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 China.
China, China, China.
Northwest Wisconsin, where I'm from.
It's China to me, China. China, 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 China. You want to buy from China? That's great. Buy from China.
Okay, we were spiking on the BS meter, so I had to pull it off. But yeah, he's very, very literate on China. He knows how to say the word in different ways. And he says it a lot. Yeah, but has he really spoken to China? And did he talk to China when he made a special deal with Vladimir Putin? Now, you notice that I have not mentioned Donald Trump's connection to the Putin and the team of diplomats working on the secret side of the campaign with the Russian Trump. Let us look now at the connections Donald Trump has made with Russia and how it will impact the peace accord with China. Russian government officials conferred with members of Donald Trump's campaign team, a senior Russian diplomat said Thursday, a disclosure that could reopen scrutiny of the Kremlin's role in the president-elect's bitter race against Hillary Clinton. This statement came from Deputy Foreign Minister Sergei Ryabkov, who said in an interview with the state-run Interfax news agency that there were contacts with the Trump team. Well, that, sir, is a conflict of interest. Yes, sir. That is a classic violation of the Logan Act. Now, I'm not going to forget about, these simple little facts and factoids when referring to Donald Trump. We must always look at the simple possibility that this kind of relationship with Russia could very well piss off Russia's... The Sino-Russian agreements are all predicated on hostilities with the U.S. You can imagine how China would change those Sino-Soviet agreements of the past if they knew that Russia had an inside deal with Donald Trump. I look like Angela Merkel? That's pretty funny.
Hey, buddy, don't talk about that guy. He's balding.
Hi, Sarah. How are you?
I'm not 60. I'm 56. Thank you for asking. Well, let me tell you, if you think that the Zionists owned Vladimir Putin, maybe you were right, maybe you're wrong. I mean, he has been very bold in striking against the New World Order. Many of Trump's supporters have voted in favor of Trump to simply get rid of the New World Order, claiming that Vladimir Putin is in some way not connected to the Russian Zionist wing of Eastern Europe, not realizing that Putin may very well have come from the very same group when Boris Yeltsin chose him as a leader in the first place. You can't wait to get your wig. You're going to slap some glue on the new do. You don't have to wear glue in a wig, man. Yeah, I can walk around and shake my head. It won't fall off. But you're shaving your head, so it will have a problem. You're going to have glue. Yeah, I hear you. Okay, let's leave the back room and go back over to the other show. Oh, yes, I'll be running the rest of my life, obviously. Yes, I'm convinced that Putin is working with the Zionists. Yes. That's why I'm concerned that it's going to affect relations with China. I don't believe China has been heavily infiltrated. I believe China has a much bigger problem. 1.3 billion people, to be exact. And their problems are specific to their population. Russia and the U.S. know nothing of how to handle 1.3 billion people. I mean, China is dealing with a crisis within their own borders. So I'm not of the belief that China poses a huge threat to the U.S., like many neocons that are currently occupying Trump's transition team cabinet. I'm not of the belief that China is the big threat that Obama thought it was, too. Damn, why you're crying? Why? House quietly passes bill targeting Russian propaganda websites. It's trying to limit the conversation. Interesting how the veil of censorship is slowly coming down on U.S. propaganda tools. Well, there's nothing, with Citizens United protected, giving corporations the rights of an individual and freedom of speech as well. How in the world is a House going to put a bill saying you can't have any propaganda sites on your websites, on the internet? I mean, it's absurd. On November 30th, 1 week after Washington Post launched its witch hunt against Russian propaganda fake news. With 390 votes for, the House quietly passed the 6393 House Resolution, Intelligence Authorization Act for fiscal year 27. The largest donor in 2016 is Google's parent Alphabet. Okay, a Republican named Devin Nunes. A bill which deals with a number of intelligence-related issues, including Russian propaganda, or what the government calls propaganda. Hints at a potential crackdown on offenders. Wow. Establishment or funding of a front group. This is media manipulation, anything qualifying. This is very similar to what Hitler tried to do with Goering, the propaganda minister in Germany. Anyone caught doing establishment or funding of a front group? Or covert broadcasting? Or media manipulation? Yeah, we are going to crack down on all of the fake news sites that talk about pedophiles. Dave Tards. So some of you are calling yourself Dave Tards? Interesting. I don't think you're tardated. Obama supports forcing women to register for military draft. Here we go. Obama supports forcing women to register for military draft. I've even openly said that I would get rid of the selective service process, but I'd still keep the standing volunteer army of 2 million people. Where Barack Obama wanted to get rid of the 500,000 in personnel, 10-year plan, I wouldn't do that. And here it says that he supports forcing women to register for the military draft. Isn't that crazy? I mean, I'm completely opposite the Democrats and Republicans here. I have 14 ties. We alternate between 2 weeks. So every week I do a different tie, except I've kept this tie for Friday for the longest time, ever since my sister sent me this tie from the East Coast. Thank you. Blue Raven, you're exposing satanic Freemasonry. Interesting. Yeah, David, I'm so freaking sick of the gay agenda. As your president, what will you do about gay people accusing me of being gay and pushing for transgender bathrooms? I don't want to crap next to a tranny. Thank you, Skyrim. Good question. Skyrim is concerned about, having somebody roll a ball of toilet paper underneath. Could you hand me could you hand me a couple pieces? Yeah. I've been in bathrooms where somebody asked me to hand them a couple pieces of toilet paper, and I didn't say a word. It's like I just got up and left. It's like if you strike up a conversation in the stall next to you, you could be like Senator Craig from the Midwest, and he's like, "No, I have a wide stance." Remember when he was accused of soliciting people in a stall? I just don't talk to people when you're in a stall. Just leave. Get out. Yeah, it's just so weird the way he went on there with his wife saying, "I've never done anything like this." His poor wife. Hundreds of veterans at risk of HIV and hepatitis after VA dentists failed to follow sanitation procedures. Hundreds of people. Wow. He probably didn't even wash his hands in between each individual tooth filling. I kind of freak out about that when my dentist is standing there and he's working on my mouth and he's picking his nose with his plastic gloves. Could you stop that? All right, better yet, I go, "Can you stop that?" And he's like, "Okay, drill a little harder." I'm trying to and he like pulls it out of his nose and yeah. Hundreds of veterans. This is sad. Sterile technique is gone, man. Going to the dentist is really a pleasant experience, but it's taken a whole new level of horror for almost 600 veterans who recently learned that they need to get tested for blood-borne diseases after their dentist was caught using poor sanitation procedures. The dentist in question started working at the VA in Tamaw, Wisconsin last October. It was recently discovered that he was contravening the VA's requirement that dentists used each drill bit only one time and then disposing of it. A spokesperson for the hospital said the dentist had been bringing in his own dental burrs and cleaning them with a solution of Virex, salt, and wipe, which is against their rules. Some dentists said this procedure has been considered unacceptable for decades. The dentist might still be putting people at risk, though. He should be prosecuted. Federal employee protections prevent the name of the dentist from being released. So we don't even know what dentist it is. Isn't this amazing? We have enough abilities right now on the internet to mash up a solution to all of your medical problems. If you could just contact online a site that said doctorsandmalpractice.com, something like that. And you could look up your doctor's name and it would show you how many accusations of malpractice have gone against your doctor, how many cases settled out of court, how many cases went to trial. Wouldn't that be great to know that the doctor who's going to work on your body, you would know flat out exactly how completely, unbelievably incompetent he is or she is? Wouldn't that be great? They have it in some states, so you can do that, and I think Maine has it. But most states don't pull their records and show them online to people. This is not a fake persona. This is my real deal. I'm the real guy, man. I'm the guy here to save the day. I'm here to save the day. That's the guy. I'm the person. Yeah, some people are born to do this. I was born to be me. That's right. I've got to be me. I've got to be me.
Duplicated, never replicated. You're listening to the...
Blue Raven has got his site there he's promoting. I uploaded another video. Good. You kind of look like Underdog. Interesting. Underdog to the rescue. Are you sure you don't have me convinced I could be Mighty Mouse? Somebody sent me a clip last night that I found so disturbing. I've never been to Russia, no. I found it so disturbing that it's Underdog to the rescue. I saw a poor dog getting eaten. It was the weirdest thing. I would play it for you if I wanted to freak you out, but I don't. Yeah, a dog was being eaten in Africa, and it was a video online. Somebody sent it to us. It was just absolutely disgusting how they eat dogs like we would chicken. It was so weird. You find the way disturbing? Really? David, are you a hermit? No, I'm a monk. I'm a kind of a monk. I've had, relations with women, but I'm not, involved heavily. I mean, Sarah and I are a couple. But do I focus primarily on sex? No. I mean, I'm celibate most of the time until we actually get together. But beyond that, I think, I'm kind of living like a monk's life, You are a politician. They're all liars and scam artists. Boy, you got a nice attitude there, buddy. Big whoop. I bet you're the guy they all want to hang out with at the family gatherings. Banning trannies is not going to happen. But anti-discrimination laws and sexual harassment laws will be at the top of my list. A Columbia Planes crash survivor curled up in a fetal position before impact, which was learned after trying to deal with the United States Airline Customs Services. What's happening here? Yep, my hair is proof I'm not 60. I'm 56. I am against women should not have to register for the Selective Service. No, I disagree. I think we need to get rid of and phase out the Selective Service. It's been around since Ronald Reagan's time.
When Ronald Reagan put the Selective Service on board, we didn't have the robust volunteer army of transsexuals like my son wasn't a transsexual. He was just different, little Ronnie.
Now to the new clues about that deadly plane crash that killed 71 people. David Curley has more on what the survivors are now revealing about the accident.
This morning, Colombian authorities confirmed this jet didn't have enough reserve fuel, and radio calls suggest it ran out of fuel. As this new video shows the excited Brazilian soccer team heading to the finals before the crash. Their short-haul jet had flown nearly 1,900 miles, right at its maximum range, but it was put into a holding pattern above Medellin. The pilots radio the tower, asking for priority landing. We're having a fuel problem. But just 7 minutes later, the pilot calls out, total failure, electric, total, and fuel.
They now have nothing but battery power, and they're gliding. They have no electronic aids that can take them to the airport.
So the pilots desperately calling out for directions, vectors. A minute later, the final plea for help. 8 miles from the airport, the jet crashes. No fire, no fuel found.
The airplane ran out of gas. Why it ran out of gas, why the crew made the bad decisions that they made, could they have saved it if they'd declared an emergency earlier on?
3 of the players survived, 2 crew members too. One saying he did so by curling up in the fetal position and reportedly telling a South American sports network others in the plane stood up and started yelling after the jet ran out of fuel. The black boxes have now been turned over to investigators from the United Kingdom. They'll read them out, and guys, that's going to tell us a lot about what the pilots were saying inside the cockpit. We'll answer a lot of the questions about this tragic plane crash.
Something like that is totally avoidable. Had they been taking one of my proposed blimp planes, for instance, had they been on a blimp plane flying above the Medellin, obviously they could have landed comfortably in the forest, comfortably. I would have this retrofitted with parachutes to ensure that the safety of the passengers would be guaranteed. And you wouldn't need to worry about how much gas was in the tank. We need to innovate. And we've got aging fleets across the globe of 747s that could easily be gutted and turned into cargo bays and then refit for sleep sections, maybe a restaurant, possible sleep chairs like they have on a lot of the ferries going up and down. You can get a sleep chair on some trains too, I believe. We've talked about my hair. Yeah, it's impeccable. Yeah, I've chosen, everyone keeps saying I'm wearing a wig normally, and I said, no, I'm not. And so I just go ahead and put this on, and it's impeccable. They can't talk about it. It eliminates the troll activity. Its primary purpose is to eliminate the troll activity. So, I know you have me on mute. That doesn't matter. Let's take a look at what these these could provide. One person suggested that we could make the entire covering into a parachute. You can imagine how that would be. So we could have like a circle around this section in here, and if the whole thing, ended up blowing a hole in one end, we could actually turn it into somewhat of a parachute, and it could release and have like a parachute ability and float. It would then turn into a large, massive parachute. That's a brilliant idea, actually, but I'm thinking more of parachutes coming out of the nose cones and wings and tail section as a very minimum. But why haven't we put... Because nobody wants to scribble on board the screen. I'm the only one. Da, 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 da. Why are we putting parachutes on planes? Have you considered putting underwater propellers to the back of the planes and turning them into submarines? No, I'm not going to turn the planes into submarines, but they're not really retrofitted for water protection. That would require too much retrofitting. Jill just got one vote turned over to Hillary. Yep, she's made some big progress. One vote is now in Hillary's name. Scissor has got great videos, yes. Mr. Scissor is very smart. Oh, yes. Yes, he's good. Mr. Scissorfight has lots of things. Okay, let's see what we have here. Daily Mail says, chicken impeccable. Chickens play the xylophone after their owner tied one to their coop. But were they trying to play the birdie song or not? Let's take a look. We sometimes play fun stuff on Friday. A farmer has taken foul play to the next level by setting up a xylophone for his chickens to peck at. Chris Garrett from Parker, Colorado, noticed her 11 chickens looking a little bored and attached the instrument to the wall of their coop. As a result, music rings through the hen house all day long, keeps the birds occupied. That way they can lay better eggs. That was special. Thank you so much for that special thing.
I know what you're thinking. Did he fire 6 shots or only 5? Well, to tell you the truth, in all this excitement, I've kind of lost track myself. But Ian, this is a .44 Magnum, the most powerful handgun in the world, and would blow your head clean off. You've got to ask yourself one question. Do I feel lucky? Well, do you, punk?
Okay. Yeah. Now, let's get down to the nitty-gritty of politics. They're pushing a story that says that we can't talk about Pizzagate. So we'll be talking about Pizzagate. You dirty rat. David looks like a volcano ready to erupt. You dirty rat. You're not going to get me, you copper. You dirty rat. Here's looking at you, sweetheart. Yeah, so we don't mind you using the word Pizzagate here. And it's not a problem, so you can... And we think that the Breitbart site has been co-opted and controlled now, that Andrew Breitbart's dead. Some people say that Breitbart may have uncovered the truth about Podesta, and that may have got him killed. Now, we all know that Andrew Breitbart died a very mysterious death. Even the guy who did his autopsy died of arsenic poisoning the day he did his autopsy. But Breitbart is here on camera talking about Podesta before he died.
This is a concerted effort. This is a concerted effort. Politics of personal destruction. Fuck you, John Podesta.
All right, well, you see where I'm coming from.
Okay, yeah.
When I talk, that's because I'm interested in this ongoing, whatever the hell they're doing.
What's in your closet, John Podesta? Big Podesta? Big Soros? Do you want us to play these games? Because we're playing to win.
What we are concerned about is the death of individuals around the country and how it's been covered up by our leaders. And the fact that this Podesta information from the WikiLeaks reveals looked like it got past their filters and may very well reveal a very serious underlying pedophile ring in our country's power elite. Now, I don't see how we could possibly correct the country's problems if we didn't recognize that we've got a serious brutality problem, a growing police state. I mean, heck, they practically want to put an AI president in front of you, you know. I wouldn't doubt it. You know, the idea of an artificial intelligence president is entirely doable, you know. It wouldn't take a lot. They could simply manufacture a human being that matches all of your necessary requirements and talks naturally. Hello. Welcome to the show. How are you? Sorry. Yeah, I'm running a kind of a side thing on Reddit to make people think I'm a robot. Dave, do you need a mod, bud? No, Flick Tolly, we don't. Here's a tribute to the value a trucker brings.
Chestnuts roasting on an open fire, Jack Frost nipping at your nose.
Yeah, it's that time again. It's Christmas time. As I roll across the highway, I notice that more people are heading out for their vacations, going to see family and friends for the holidays. It makes me think of a lot of things that most of you take for granted. If you just take a moment, the next time you're at home, sitting around and looking at the Christmas tree, think about this. Look at that tree. No, I didn't bring it to you, but one of us did. Think of all the presents that are under the tree. Clothes, electronics, toys. I may not have brought those either, but one of us did. And as you get in your car and you get on the interstate and you're heading to family or to friends to celebrate the holidays, no, I didn't bring that car, and I may not have brought the gas that you purchased to get there, but one of us did. And when you're sitting down with those family and friends and you're sharing a meal, and you're looking around the room and you look at each other and you're thankful for what's in front of you, all that food, maybe I brought some of it, maybe I didn't, but one of us did. So I ask that when you do venture out over the holidays and you happen to pass by a truck, think about that. Think about all the things that you just experienced or will experience. Maybe I didn't bring it to you, but one of us did. Happy holidays.
To kids from 1 to 92. Although it's been said many times, many ways, Merry Christmas to
And I want to just say that when you're out traveling by train on the human rail cars, heading toward your FEMA camp destination, always remember the hard work of the FEMA camp railroad driver as he ships your folks off to the happy hunting ground. in FEMA land. Okay, that was E-Michael Films. Wow, One Trucker's View. YTTRuckin.com. Yeah. Well, let me tell you, that's been good to talk to all you folks tonight and hunker down by the fire, do a fireside chat. Danny Sheen at Standing Rock, Dakota Oil will all go overseas. Check this out. Thanks, Scissorfight.
The traditional people have assembled the tribal council.
Danny Sheen's going to talk about it. No, I won't be meeting anybody in person. I'm dealing with a lot of death threats right now, as you can see. They've got the 4chan attack underway in our chat room, so we have to constantly deal with that. Yeah. And they've got some weird theory that I'm going to be able to go off the internet because they attacked me. It's just so funny. I've been doing this for 8 years. They can't even get close to me. I am troll-proof and have proven it time and time again. But they continue to come in like a group of nasty, naughty little gnats that keep hovering around. You can't stop the Sponheim. I'm like a train wreck heading toward its destination. You like the homo hair. This is not homo hair. This is a wig that I had to wear because people said my regular hair wasn't just perfect enough. To answer my question, you are muted, third party. Thanks. You're welcome. It's not third patry, it's third party. You've been muted. David boy. Me? Aha, you are? Really? Okay. David's like a train that doesn't touch anything and doesn't hurt anybody. It's just heading on toward its destination. Well, thank you. We open chat in the evening to guest chat, so if you guys come in later tonight, you'll see it open. I am not a hermit. I told you I'm a monk. I'm akin to a Buddhist monk in U.S. Western culture version. 6 days on the road, Dave. 6 days on the road and I'm gonna get a home tonight. Yeah. We got all kinds of trucking songs coming up to you tonight. I will, Skyrim. We got the a convoy coming up. Yes, sirree. We got convoy. We got all kinds of retro truck songs. No, I'm just kidding. We're going to be playing videos all the way to the night. I think Andrew Breitbart would be rolling over in his grave to think that Breitbart.com suppressing Pizzagate inquiry. It's just unbelievable. I mean, our networks, news, and all of even the fringe sites that have become popular over the past 10 years are now bought and controlled by the U.S. government and the propaganda machine of the Illuminati, as they try to cover up the biggest stain in their history, Pizzagate. Isn't that interesting? It's like they don't want anybody to talk about it. I gladly talk about how the government's building up massive militias and SWAT teams around the country. I'd more than likely discuss it at great length. But the bottom line is this is an even bigger story that kind of trumps the Trump story. If Trump can't even tweet about Pizzagate and it continues to grow virally across the internet, and all this information is still being munched, by the way, the WikiLeaks are being closely scrutinized. You're going to see more videos coming up about all the different things coming out of the Podesta brothers. A lot of people are doing some deep research on this stuff, so it's almost like a tide you can't stop. Okay, zero rain on the Doppler. More weather modification going on in California. Brought to you by Scissor Fight. We've got the Pacific Redwood feed coming in tonight. There it is, Doppler. I'm going to break away from the show and join Sarah and her guest so we can have a little fun time tonight. Cool. We'll get that up in just a second. Okay, guest off. How about not allowing guests, Dave? Yeah, good point. Is there anything more un-American than the police being turned into an army? Tyranny is here. Skyrim tattoo. I agree 100%. We want to stop this tyranny. Let's clear the chat room. Yeehaw! All right, everyone, this has been great. Another wonderful night of nonstop chat and discussion. Thank you for watching, worldwide viewers. It's always a pleasure to have people who are now interested in what the American people are talking about nightly, knowing that we're gonna do everything we can to stop chemtrails, fluoride in our water system. We're going to try to stop GMOs when we can. Preparations for Christmas. I haven't made my tree yet, if you're asking me that. And now another story about a serial sexter named Anthony Weiner. He returns. He's released from sex rehab as Uma waits in New York. Okay. We'll break to that live right now. Right here, right now. Okay. Thanks, everyone, for coming in. We'll talk to you tomorrow. We may come in a little late. Our show may start a little later than 5 p.m. Saturday was always a 6 to 9 show. So if you are coming back tomorrow, you may want to, realize that we may be just coming in a little bit late. Not quite sure if we'll be perfectly on time. We got some things we got to take care of. All right. Thank you very much, Skyrim. Good night. Good night, everyone.